anymore.
And this time right now today
Yeah.
is the curve.
Yeah.
These are facts. Like, there's just no way at all that you can sit here and I can talk to somebody and they can convince me that he's not a pedophile. Lit himself on fire in protest. That was in the beginning when they first started the genocide. Because I have Jewish friends. I have a Jewish best friend. She knows what's right and wrong.
Right.
And like, when you realize how much propaganda and advertisement is pushed in your face as an American.
Yeah. All right, guys, so we are on, and finally, I've been waiting a long time for this. I have the one and only Jenika on the show.
Yes, hi.
Do you want to let them know who else is in our audience right now?
So I have Angel behind, and I have Dean and my Anthony.
And we're going to probably give them a chance after I talk to you for a little bit to also come on if they would like. And it's an honor to have you here. I'm not going to lie. I've been waiting. A lot of people have been waiting to watch you. Actually, I think it was on Tuesday. A bunch of people came up to me and asked if you were still coming on. So just letting you know that there's a lot of people waiting for this. So
I'm excited to see the feedback.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And so now that we're here, I want to touch base on a whole number of things.
Yeah.
Okay. So we kind of were briefly talking about what we're going to go over, but let's just chat like we do at work. Just basically like we're, having a conversation. Jenika is an artist, and from as far back as I remember, you are a tattoo artist, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how did you get into that?
So initially, like, I was the kid on Halloween that would go get those like sleeve with tattoos, and like I was always something dead. Like I was always something like creative on a tee. Like growing up, my mom, we didn't have a lot of money, so my mom would make my Halloween costume every year until I like got a little bit older. So I've always like kind of drew on myself. Like it was always a thing. I always knew I wanted tattoos. I don't want to be fully covered, but like I always knew it. And then when I've always painted too, like growing up, I was always gifted like arts and crafts. It was never like dolls or nothing like that. So I've always been like artistically inclined. But then when I graduated high school, everyone's like, go to college. So I went to college. But obviously, like, you're fresh out of high school, like you're so lost, like you don't know exactly what you want to do unless like you have a certain like tunnel vision path, of course. But I just didn't know like what I actually wanted to do. So of course I went to college, like I did the year, but like I would always go back to painting and art and everything. So I knew that it was taking time away from what I actually wanted to do, which was creating art. So essentially, like I sat down with myself and I was like, do I drop out to pursue tattooing? Like,
well, how did you get into tattooing though? Like, where did your art transfer into all of a sudden I want to start like, when did you get your first gun?
Probably 2 years ago. So I got it 2 years ago. I was working at a coffee shop, and the store neighbor, he owned a bike shop. Great guy, like still keep in contact with him till this day.
Right.
And he like knows all the girls at the coffee shop. And then he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want a tattoo. And he was like, oh, cool. Like I have a buddy that makes tattoo guns. Let me see if like he can, give you something. And I was like, cool. But I didn't like really sit on that like, I didn't really want to believe him, just get my expectations like up.
Right.
The next day he comes in with like a full thing. And I'm like, oh my God, like you're insane. So he gave me a gun. That gun is like $5,000.
Oh shit. Okay.
And it's like one of 5 because it was made for a convention.
Really?
And they never sold it.
He just gave this to you?
Just gave it to me.
That's wild.
Yeah. So that was like a clear sign for me that like you have structure. Like my parents also invested in me too. Like tattooing was always in the back of my head. I always loved tattoos, the history of tattoos. So I just knew like, also there's no money. Well, I don't want to say that. There's no money in being a painter. There's a lot of money in being a painter.
I was going to say,
there's a lot of money.
There are rich people that buy like literally $10 million paintings and then they give them to like auctions and donate them and stuff. So, I mean, when you went, now here's the thing. I've always thought about this. My brother's an artist and I always tell him he should have been a tattoo artist, but he works for a corporate medical insurance company. But I always wonder, like, what is it like? I mean, does it give you anxiety to draw on someone for the first time? And like, how do you trust yourself with that?
Yeah, definitely. So I was the first person I ever tattooed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
To make sure the depth, the pain scale, like what did it feel like? And mind you, like I'm tattooing myself while also feeling the pain of getting tattooed.
Right.
So it was definitely like nerve-wracking, but I've always like been able to be good under pressure. So I feel like I just had faith in myself, honestly.
Was your first tattoo from yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did my own. I did this one. This is the first.
Oh, that was your first?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually remember when you came back with that.
Yeah. So
that's wild.
Yeah. And then I also have a friend. Her name is Emma. Like my whole heart goes out to her. She was, yes, Anthony. Anthony loves Emma too. She's just like literally a ball of sunshine, like pure positivity. I love her. She had full faith in me and like trust in me. She was the first person, my friend, to ever let me tattoo her. And I actually scarred her when I did it. I actually went too deep because right here I did like a heart and I actually went a little bit too deep and I actually scarred her. And like she didn't get upset. Like she knew that it was part of the process. Like she was just open and like actually told me like, hey, like I think you might have gone a little too deep and da-da-da. I looked at her and I was like, you're right. And to this day I tattoo her all the time. Like she has never paid for a tattoo. Like I give her anything she wants like that because she's the first person to actually like go out of her way and have faith with me. And that's a really hard thing.
Right.
Like I don't know if I would do that for some people.
I don't know that I could either.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I have an appointment with her like next week. So.
And you're down in, so right now, are you working out of your house or you work out of your home or you go to people's houses and?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a mix of everything. I do house calls. If I know you, if I trust you, if you're a regular, like you can come to my house. But then I also used to do tattoos at a shop too.
Right on.
So at the time I was doing them there. Gotcha. Now it's more of house calls temporarily.
Right on. And I know you had a mentor for a little bit and you've been training to basically build your skills in the industry, which is, I think, amazing. Yeah. And that you're pursuing this further. And feel free if you want to do a shout out to anybody, any of your social media. If not, that's fine. Because
I'm gonna shout y'all out.
Because I was going to tell you there's, you do have a pretty, how do I say, and for, I guess in TikTok's world, it's not the hugest, but I mean, if you were to go back even 10 years, because you have over 10,000 followers, right?
I do. I have 11.8.
11.8. Okay. If I was going to go back even 10 years and I was going to say I had 10,000 people that followed me, that was a pretty significant number.
Right.
And I know now it's just like, there's so many people that are on those platforms and they're in the millions and whatnot, but I think that's pretty amazing. I've seen some of your videos and I know some of them have gone viral.
Yeah.
So I know that it's, I've always told you should also probably pursue like modeling, things like that.
Yeah.
Which I think would be, a great opportunity. But when it does come to social media, how do you feel about social media today? Do you think it's changed anything at all? Or do you feel like it's a form of validation for you personally?
Really good question.
Yeah.
Really good question. I think social media is genuinely in a place now that we've never experienced.
Yeah.
Like technology is at the furthest extent that it's been ever, like now, today. And honestly, social media is changing every day. I'm learning something new every day. It's always like, you need to do this step by step to fix the algorithm and do this and do that. And this is how you get likes. But honestly, I think in the end, people just want to see like raw authenticity. Like people want to know that they can relate to like the scary shit in life.
They do. And it's funny because I had someone else on the show. They said that they actually were saying this new generation doesn't want the authentic, that they just want entertainment.
Right.
And I don't know. I think there's a balance. There's different people that really are entertained by a little bit of both. I agree with you. I get actually upset at some of the things because there's some of these trends that are just, it's obviously it took no skill at all.
Yeah.
I've seen people like they'll do like a dolphin thing on the table and just bark. And then that makes millions of views.
Literally the best example is literally 6'7".
Exactly my
Six
point.
seven has no relevance to the world at all, and yet it's a international joke.
Yep.
Like that genuinely grasped my like brain like so.
Right.
Like I was just like, what?
20 years ago, it was "What's up?" and from Scary Movie. No, it was. It was literally the exact same phenomenon.
Yeah.
So it's people would go around and they just, in classrooms, they would just say that all the time, and like the teachers would be like, "Just shut the fuck up!" Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it was crazy. But yeah, no, it's. I mean, there's a lot of dangers with social media. I mean, there's. There's stalkers, yep, and there's people now with AI that can completely take your image and do whatever they want with it. Yeah. It's wild, and I have a lot of California. I don't know if you're aware, is trying to make legislation for that, trying to like ban certain types of AI programming, especially to protect children. Yeah, being the main thing, because a lot of people are putting their kids on social media, which is kind of scary too. Yeah. And I used to be that way. I post mostly me now on social media, and it's really to protect my privacy and protect my family. I don't care about me. If someone wants to, AI and strip me down or something, I give a shit. But people, no, but you would be. I'm just saying, no, this is a thing.
No, seriously.
This is a real thing.
Seriously, and they do it to people. It's like a Twitter trend. Like there's a Twitter trend that's like, I forgot what the AI is called in Twitter. Grok? Or
yes.
Gork?
Yeah.
Grok? There's like a trend where they'll take like women in bikinis, and then in the comments they'll be like, Grok, like make me have no clothes, or like something like that. Yeah. And it'll do it. Yeah. And it'll do it. And like, this is a public platform. Right. And we brought this up on the other show. I haven't posted them yet. We're going to be, I'm going to kind of like do a little trickle here and there, releasing these videos. I'm going to take a break in July, but I have enough built up to like, to post them through July. Yeah. But the thing is that she was in cybersecurity, and we were basically talking about how with AI coming up into the future, no, feel free. If you want to move it closer, go for it. Yeah, I just want to like make sound. No, if you pull it down too, if you want. Cool. Because it goes down like that too. Oh. Okay. But yeah, we were talking about, what were we talking about? What haven't we talked about? She was talking about cybersecurity and just how when we have AI programs now coming out, AGI can basically decode any type of software, firewall. So it's like there's really nothing to protect your information anymore. And you don't see that in the news, do you? No, you don't. Well, you don't see a lot of things in the news. The news is complete crap. You don't see anything beneficial in the news. No. And I think it's always been this way. Even when I was a child, I just didn't realize it at the time. But for me, television, the news is literally just smoke and mirrors. It's everyone has an agenda. You have liberal media, you have conservative media, and we have two parties, right, left. And I don't believe in any of it. I know you do. I come off more liberal, but when it comes to the actual system itself, I've studied it very closely. And the problem is that a two-party system creates nothing but division. It's obvious. Yeah. You're either on one team or the other, except we should all be united. Because here's the thing. When you go into history, okay, if I go back all the way to the Babylonians or the Romans, the number one tactic for thousands of years ago was always divide and conquer. We're still using those basic tactics today because here's the problem. When you have society fighting amongst themselves, they're too busy fighting against themselves. Why these elitists are really starting to take control and more power. Yeah, there's really three groups. What would you say the third is? I would say it's the elitist watching the two parties. Yeah, you're right. And that's just facts. Like you can look it up. Like what is it? Like 12 puppet masters, There's like 12 families around the world or like something like that. Yeah, like that are, all of those. Yes, they have so much money. So you have like Elon Musk now. He's a trillionaire or whatever. Crazy. There have been trillionaires before him. It's hard to explain. The money is not documented like his money is carefully documented. But if, for instance, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, their royal family is worth about $3 trillion alone. Which is crazy to grasp, by the way. I don't think anybody, like, people, like, I remember when I woke up and I was like, Elon's a trillionaire, and I just, like, had to take deep breaths because I was like, I can't even grasp what the hell a trillionaire.
If you were to spend $1 million a day, it would take you 4,000 years to spend $1 trillion. Just FYI.
So like no person needs that amount of money ever.
You couldn't spend it if you wanted to.
It's just literally just like fuck you money. Like you can just do whatever you want. And like that is damaging to the brain. $1
trillion is a larger number than the universe has even existed in years. So
that's insane.
So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of power. Yeah. It's a lot of influence. Yeah. And even with his relationship with Trump, like you guys remember when obviously he was part of the White House, and I think that was all fucking show because I think that he saw his stocks dropping and then I think they came up with the scheme to get him out of the White House and back into his companies without destroying his company. Because I think when he got into the political arena, half the country, if not more, are libertarian. And I think the second they started seeing him next to Trump, they're like, fuck Tesla. I'm not going to buy those cars.
This was before he was an idiot or like They made, that was one of the biggest mistakes that the US government has made. There's been $1 trillion.
Yeah.
But that was definitely one of the biggest mistakes that you've seen like ever in your flesh. Like they literally were beefing. Like the president of the United States.
Right. Well, they got to make it look real.
Is beefing with Elon Musk.
I think that was because Trump didn't want to give up on the program on, because I think he wanted to reduce like emissions or something and yada, yada. But Trump basically was an oil guy.
So emotional.
And Elon wanted to move more into the future with electric. But yeah, it's been a while. It's a wild time to live. This is a very historical time.
Epping time. Mind you, I feel like, and this might be biased. It's a little biased. My timeline, I guess everybody's in this room, has lived through COVID.
Yes.
And now we look back and we're like, oh, remember COVID?
Yeah.
That was like the most tragic time.
It was wild.
People were losing their fucking minds.
I was prepping. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was buying like gas masks and gloves and all kinds of crap because we just didn't know in the beginning. But then I realized.
I didn't get COVID.
You never got COVID?
Never got COVID.
Did you ever get the shot or no?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I did.
I personally, I researched it before, I was going to say what COVID was as it was happening. And then I realized that Dr. Fauci, I don't know if you guys know, Dr. Fauci right now is on trial.
Oh.
For what is it? For basically basically shutting everything down. I don't know if you guys remember closely, but he was pitching pitches at baseball games while we were all locked up. And but apparently he has a money trail that goes back to the Wuhan laboratory. And that money trail led back all the way into the late 1960s. And believe it or not, Obama. So, okay, he had I don't want to get too much in this because I don't know.
I know it'll trickle down.
No, I just don't want YouTube to like screw the algorithm up. But if I remember correctly, he was working on vaccines since the 60s and 70s. And then there was what they called the SARS virus, which was in 2003. I think let me see. Was the SARS virus in 2003?
I love Dean.
I think this thing's connected.
Got to give Scott a second. He has to fact check everything.
Was the SARS virus in 2003?
Yes, exactly. SARS, or severe acute respiratory syndrome, was first identified in 2003. It was caused by a coronavirus, SARS-CoV, and it spread several parts of China to other parts of the world.
Okay. So the reason I brought this up is SARS was COVID. Okay. But when COVID came around the second time, if you were my age, you remembered SARS, but they never shut down the whole country for SARS, but they did shut it down when it came around in 2019. Right. So it was a very large conspiracy. But the problem is that Obama came in and actually shut down Dr. Fauci's program, believe it or not. He said that it was unethical and didn't want to spend money on it in the US. It's a very dangerous operation to create these viruses because they were laboratory made. So Obama shut it down and he said, dude, we can't have this. So, but secretly, I believe that Fauci basically took funds and started basically funneling the money into the Wuhan laboratory. And then it got out from that laboratory. But the whole world at that time was very chaotic, though. I mean, it was just literally shifting everything that we did. It was one of the largest shifts of money in the world from the poor. I mean, like people were literally spending their 401ks just to stay afloat because they were just shutting down everything, the restaurants, people's personal businesses. But regardless of that, these are what I call like government resets. These are things that where the government, when we start actually getting ahead in life, I feel like they really were just taking our money back. And a lot of people before that time were actually starting to get savings, equity, and properties and things like that. But it doesn't matter. There was many administrations over the years, and I've never in the 40-some years I've been alive, I've just never seen anyone genuinely, how do I say, really care about the public genuinely. I don't know when it comes to the government, but
I will say
there are individuals. But
Diana.
Who?
Princess Diana.
Well, yeah, I was alive when Princess Diana was alive. My grandmother.
Loves Princess Diana.
It's funny that you bring that up. No, my grandmother was obsessed with Princess Diana.
Yeah.
They believe that she was killed.
She was killed, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I have no doubt. 100%.
There were things that
He's very passionate about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Princess Diana deserved better, and it was her against the world. And that's why Michael Jackson felt connected to her.
Yeah. And I think she was getting ready to expose some of these entities that you were talking about.
100%. Because didn't Prince Andrew's, wasn't he in the files? Didn't he face trial?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. And Anthony's confirming.
And I think... and still there's never been any justice done with any of that. And that was one of my first podcasts.
Yeah. And that's crazy because did you just see, it just came out that Trump has to pay $3 million to that woman that he sexually assaulted because the judge said that he doesn't need to face trial, that he can just do a money settlement. So it's just like, if you're going to protect pedophiles and our $3
million's nothing to that guy.
$3 million is nothing. The amount of it's 5. It's 5 million. Yeah. The amount of insider trading that's going on with his family for him to, I mean, I'm not even going to star on the amount of illegal things that he's doing, like unconstitutional. And the craziest thing is I remember when he somehow won his second term, somehow.
Yeah.
I remember waking up like the next day. Mind you, I already knew he was going to win. Mind you. The second Biden dropped out and then Kamala came in swoop and I was like, we're fucked. But the second I woke up and I was like, okay, so we're going to do this again. It's going to be more invasive, right? I thought about it and I was like, I'm going to think about the government every day. Like this is the last day that I'm not going to think about I'm not going to have a daily thought. I feel like now I wake up every day, I see something. The second I open my phone, it's, Trump, da-da-da-da. It's always government, da-da-da, Supreme Court, judges.
Right.
I took my civics class. I learned the branches and everything, but I'm actually going in on my own research to research the government now, which as I should.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm learning so many different things because I have to, because this is important.
Right.
And it's like, it's really dystopian to me every time I go down to LA and I see people. I saw a man fully naked, raggedy hair, running on the street.
Yep.
And then you look over and there's a Coco, a little robot Coco.
Oh,
yeah.
You saw it walking by?
And there's a Waymo going by. And it's like, we have these AI cars.
Yep.
We have these little things. And there's trillionaires.
It's
like, okay, so now it's like in your face, like the government does not care about you. The government does not care about you at all.
They've never cared about us. And I mean, you can trace that back. There's certain things, there are certain individuals that are put into place to create certain legislation to help out individuals. But when it comes to basically, this country is just a tax farm. It's really just here to create companies, corporations. Mm-hmm. The corporations and the banks are the ones running the world, and it is sad when you're looking on it in an emotional state. When you're just looking at the system, when I think of the concept of money is a piece of paper, correct? And that piece of paper decides if you get to eat, if you get to live, if you get to die.
Yeah.
And if you're not eating right, if for instance, if you're in the medical field, if I get cancer and the doctor says, yeah, your insurance covers 30%, but your balance is going to be $380,000 for your treatment. Who the hell on average has $380,000?
Like they do that on purpose. Like they make it ridiculous on purpose. Like there's just no reason. There's no reason. We used to revolt. Sorry. No, you're good. We used to revolt for tea and sugar and bread.
Yes.
They were
a 2%. Yes. A 2% tax increase is why we started the revolution.
We used to ruin their ships and everything. Like all this. We used to hang people for adultery.
Yeah.
And there's a pedophile as the president. And people can't even I think as humans, we naturally want to give our opinion and naturally want to always state our one. Right. But it's these are facts. There's just no way at all that you can sit here and I can talk to somebody and they can convince me that he's not a pedophile. Yeah. He's went to trial. He's getting money sent out. These are facts. You can look at these facts. And it's just the fact that humans or just Americans in general, because people outside of America are are you guys not waking up? Do you guys not see what's in front of you? And it's no, we see what's in front of us, but America has built this system to make us so busy and so stressed and so pressured. And we get anxiety over the littlest things. And it's this is all a system that has been built to keep us in this box.
Right. And the stress, believe it or not, is one of the biggest reasons for cancer, because it produces cortisol in the body, and the cortisol creates inflammation, which causes carcinogenic cell growth. So you're going to get cancer cells basically from stressing out. That's why they say stress kills, and it does. And unfortunately, the most of us are stressing. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. They're one paycheck away from, basically being in a financial crisis. So it is sad. I don't see anything right now. I mean, these wars that are going on in Iran, it's insane. And then to say that it was a nuclear threat, I don't know. I don't agree. I think it's all bullshit, because we're spending trillions of dollars to fight a war because basically somebody is having a hissy fit. So
literally
it's
I can't that blows my mind. That literally blows my mind that one person all of a sudden has all of this power to ruin.
Yeah.
There's no way for the president to ruin one person's life.
As far back as I can remember, I thought you had to go through Congress to enact war.
That's what I thought.
If I remember correctly.
That's what I thought. But Stephen Miller, the people that are behind the scenes that are puppeting him, they have built this since his first term. There's literally a full clip. Yeah. It's not AI. Before AI became publicized, of Trump saying, if I were to run the country, I would go for Republicans. I would divide the parties and I would, construct this and da-da-da-da-da. And he did. And it's this has been in the plans. America has been this way. Yeah. And it's just it's just now coming to light. And it's so crazy because we're so far in the development that humans, it's worked perfectly how their agenda wants to be. Humans, not humans, Americans are puppets. We are so puppets. We know everything that's going on. Everyone is so conscious of everything that's going on on a daily. There's no way not to be. People take breaks off of their phone to take a break from what's going on. So it's you know what's happening. You know about this. You know about that. And it's we're just ignorant. And we're comfortable, and
it's that comfort zone and coming out of it.
Literally, people pay for convenience.
They do.
In America, we have cars taking us everywhere. America's the only place that we have cars that take us everywhere. And it's just Ubers. We pay for convenience all the time. And it's just it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. This is the perfect time in the economy to revolt. The younger generation doesn't give a fuck. We haven't given a fuck for a minute.
Right.
And it's I feel if somebody in
look at the ICE revolts, all the people that have come out of the woodworks to push back on that. Yeah. And that's a big pushback. And do you mind me asking what your heritage is?
Yeah. I'm Peruvian and Jamaican.
Okay. So what is your feeling on ICE? What is your take on that? Do you have any opinion on that situation?
I think that ICE is set up almost in a way how the IDF is set up.
And how's that?
I think that the government is trying to build their own army against the people. And that is ICE. ICE used to be only used if needed against criminals that would enter the country. That's what ICE was supposed to do, is take down the rapists and the criminals.
Right. As they should.
As they should.
Right.
Protect. Yeah. Right? That's your whole job.
But now they're utilizing it as the SS.
There's no way that you can justify the way that ICE is moving today. Yeah. And the craziest thing, the cherry on the top, the thing that pisses me off the most is
that you're paying for it? No, I'm just kidding, but go ahead.
True. But what pisses me off even more than that is that you watch these videos of women, children, people, elderly, people in wheelchairs getting thrown around, tossed around, whatever, right?
Yeah, that's wild.
By people of color. ICE agents that are people of color.
Yep.
That's what pisses me off. Yep. Because if you want to stereotype it as, okay, all of the people that are of color should revolt against the racist or the misogynist or whatever, what type of subject you want to be, right? The majority would win. People understand today that what is right and what is wrong.
Right. It's the power of money, though. People are desperate for a paycheck.
Why did I go on Indeed the other day?
Some of these agents are making well over $100K a year.
Why did I go on Indeed the other day and all I saw was ICE job applicant, whatever they're called. Yep. Headlining for the ICE job, like rating is literally like 100K bonus. And if you look into the research behind the hiring process behind ICE agents, it's absolutely baffling. No background checks. Yep. No check in general. It's just like, okay, perfect. This is what we do. This is what we believe. And grab everyone. You make money on the head. Grab everyone that you can. Yeah. There's literal voice recordings that you can hear of ICE agents bragging about how many immigrants, because they're essentially taking citizens as well, and then just dropping them off in the middle of the night when the legal process is over.
Yeah, I had a friend that experienced that. They were working for Vector. And he was an 18-year-old kid. And he was an immigrant, and he's just here getting a job. It's like his first sales job. They went on a business trip, I believe, to Vancouver, and went across the border on the Canadian end. Yeah. And when they tried to come back in, they were at Niagara Falls, like doing sightseeing. Right. But when they came back, they took the kid, and then they had basically put him in jail, and then they were or a containment, and then basically we're going to deport him. I think they did like a GoFundMe. I think they were able to bring him back, if I remember correctly, but it took a good minute, and it was just very like traumatizing in the first place that the kid's literally on a business trip out of his element, and they just took him away. So yeah, it's like wild to me that even if we're going to deport people, like you said, I agree when it's pedophiles, criminals, felons. But the thing is that because everyone has borders, even Mexico has immigration laws. They literally deport millions of people too, coming up from South America. I mean, it's a part of, filtering out who comes in, but I think the process should be changed. I mean, I think that we should be able to process people quicker, let them come in if they're willing to have like work visas and stay working. And
like Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
or like Melanie or Melina.
Yeah, but you know who else who was an influencer who got deported, which is wild? Do you know have you ever seen the guy that does
No.
You know who I'm talking about? He's French. And they sent that guy back home. He was like, that kid's worth $50 million.
They deported FIFA, the World Cup, what's it called?
Yeah.
The announcers?
Yeah, this is crazy.
But that's the thing is, I don't think people care because people don't think it can happen to them.
Yeah.
They don't think, and it's just like I was talking to one of my friends, and he's in Florida. We're not friends anymore because we had a conversation where he was defending ICE. Mind you, this is a Brazilian whose parents came from Brazil.
That's wild.
His parents are immigrants, but they have their green card. Right. So they went through the legal process. They did everything that they should have done. Right. And he told me that he was like, yeah, I went to a soccer game and I would like looked around and it's all these immigrants. I was about to call ICE on them. And I was like,
what the?
Do you look in the mirror? Like, do you know who you are?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, they're not taking citizens. They're only taking immigrants. And I was like, it's like genuinely baffling to me.
Right.
It's genuinely baffling me when I see people of color, or just like not even just people of color, like any type of person, just support someone who actually genuinely is going out for you, like going out to get you.
I think so. I'll make a statement on, such a broad statement like that is how do I say irresponsible, but I know that some people have a different perspective for one reason, because their family spent so much money in many years waiting in line to get into the country. I understand that aspect, but the way that they're doing this is never been done in this country, that they're going out. I've seen them literally round people up in vans. Like they'll jump out of these vans,
I've seen it with my
tackle them to the ground. And I've seen the kids, like the children come out, they're crying on the footsteps of the parent. This is getting absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And it's just that it's become so aggressive that it's traumatizing. And for me, I believe this is a stain. This is a stain on the country, and it's really hurting the way the rest of the world perceives us in a sense. But
it's a constant stain. It's history repeating itself.
Yeah.
It's constantly terrorizing and like, what is it? Colonizing and causing genocide. And it's just like, when are we gonna like collectively agree that this is just wrong?
When I was a kid, there was a cartoon called or American Tail. It was the little mouse, Fievel, whatever. And they were trying to come over here, but it was like, they would all say, there are no cats in America, because they were mice. And the cats were like the fat cats were the enemy. But it was, even as far back as I can remember, that even, cartoons and things even are giving out like these propaganda ideologies, things like that, and implementing them into human society, kind of injecting them into us. And that kind of swings me on to like another subject of, and this is a big one, because I think this is what me and you have in common the most.
Wait, before you get on that,
go for it.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, of course. This is your podcast. Tell me what's up. Go for it.
So it's so funny that the U.S. is having ICE go out and get all these criminals, right?
Right.
But it's also like so crazy that they would also create this green card, essentially, that you can pay for and enter in the US.
Exactly.
So the second that Trump's gold card came out, or if it was even effective, or if it was even a thing for real, the fact that you could pay a certain amount to come into the US really shocked me, because...
Okay, this is new to me. I haven't heard about this.
You haven't heard of Trump's gold card?
Mm-mm.
You should ask...
Let's see. Is Trump's gold card a real thing at the moment?
Sure. Just to clarify, when you say scorecard, do you mean a performance or progress tracker for something like a project?
No. Did Donald Trump create a gold card?
Yes. So Donald Trump did release a luxury credit card through his organization. It's called the Trump card, and it was marketed as a premium exclusive card with perks like concierge services and more. It wasn't a traditional financial institution.
It's like
is there a gold card for immigration in the U.S. created by the Trump administration?
Yes, there was something called the Trump Gold Card, often discussed in the media, but it wasn't an official immigration program or policy. The term was more of a political or media shorthand, sometimes used to refer to certain expedited or special treatment for wealthy individuals or investors under some immigration pathways.
Or just like drug lords or like, terrorists or anything.
Or anyone of their choice.
Anyone who has that amount of money, by the way. But mind you, we're supposed to like get rid of these criminals and these rapists and all these bad people, right? So yet again, it's just like, it's
pay to play.
It's insane. It's insane to me. And
That's
it's like,
wild.
Yet again, like tax season just passed. Right. Everyone paid their taxes. I paid my taxes because I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared they're going to come knock me down. I have too much to lose,
Right.
But we all feel that way collectively. There's power in numbers, but it's like, what are we supposed to do?
Right.
Like, what am I supposed to do?
I don't want to say it live, but it's, the same thing we did in the revolution. And I think, they've said...
they used to go inside people's houses and take them out and like hang them.
Yeah. I mean, they say that every 200 years there should be a revolution. Just power, everywhere power lies will and eventually lie corruption.
The Constitution literally states that the government is supposed to work for the people. In the
Right.
preamble, it literally starts with "we the people."
Right. Unfortunately, we live in a world now of exceedingly wealthy people. Kings and queens have never gone anywhere. They just changed the concept. So when you have these billionaires, these corporations, these really are your kings. These are the people who are ruling
Literally.
the world because
Rothschild.
that's why
BlackRock.
that's why we allow lobbying, because we're allowed to pay to play. If you want to change legislation, you can go schmooze these people, and you got inside trading, you got all this going on, and there's no how do you say it? There's just no response. I mean, nobody's being held responsible for any of these actions because they're just they own the FBI, they own the CIA.
Yeah, he elected all these people on the panel before he actually got elected.
And so go back. I'm a little bit older. Go back to the Bush administration. Okay, George Bush Sr. was the head of the CIA before he became the president.
Right.
So the president has what they call a Crypto 17 clearance. They're not at the top of the clearance level because when it comes to independent contractors, there's a need to know basis, and presidents have what they call deniable plausibility, and they don't want presidents to know everything unless it's a certain how they've been involved. So you have some presidents that were in the military, they were part of the CIA, and then they became president. And you have some people that just came out of the woodworks, like Trump. He's kind of an outsider that came in. He never was in the military, never was.
Businessman.
So they don't want to give Trump all the information, in my opinion, based off of because he was never in any of these agencies, right? And he didn't go to the Skull and Bones universities and stuff like that.
Yeah, he actually dodged the draft.
Yeah.
So it's
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Like you want a president that's going to dodge the draft, and then you want to like make it look like he's for the veterans. Like this is just an opinion, but I see so many homeless veterans. And it's like, you're going to sit here and risk your life for the country.
Yep.
You're going to sit here and go through PTSD, trauma, things that you'll never get rid of. Yep. And then you're going to come out and you're going to have no support. And they want to play it like, oh yeah, like veteran discount and this and that. I risk my life.
Right.
And you want to give me a $25% risk discount? Yeah. Like, are you serious?
It's crap.
Like people don't understand. And like, I'm sure not even everything that the military or whoever has actually done is out there. So it's like, imagine what we don't see that you go through. Yep. And then you want to come back and you don't even want to support our troops. Like when I forgot what the instance was when he deployed troops and they were sleeping and like training in warehouses on the floor. And like they're sleeping on the floor, and like these are troops. Like I'm paying tax dollars to support them, and they're eating fucking garbage, and they're sleeping on these cold ass floors with these tinfoil ass blankets. And it's like, how do you expect them to respect you? But they have to under oath, or else you go to military prison for being bad, and then you're fucked for the rest of your life.
It's all control. It's just how it has been for so many years. It's the problem is to get rid of all of this, it would have to be a complete revolution reset.
And it's gonna take years to undo half the shit he's done.
And unfortunately, it's not going to happen because something like that, it at this day and age, technologically,
maybe that's a problem. It's because we already think it's just no-go.
And here's the thing, though. The problem with now and 200 years ago is everybody is too comfortable, okay? Yeah. People can be broke, but they still can doom scroll on their cell phone. Right. They can still, watch
I have things to do tomorrow. Like, can we not?
You know what I mean? You got, as long as people have TV, porn, alcohol, and that's all they need in their phones to doom scroll. They don't need to have anything because society really is sucked into
it's just NPCs.
There's you never know, maybe they are, and there's only a few of us in the world that are actually real. I don't know, maybe we live in the Matrix, literally. And that kind of like I don't know if you wanted to touch base on any of that, but I was going to shift it into basically our reality. And I think when you came to where we work, and I met you for the first time. Yeah, as a mentor of some sort. I basically I brought to your attention some of the quantum stuff,
definitely.
How do you say it? Quantum manifestation is how I do it. Cause I've, for the last couple of years, I've been studying quantum mechanics and quantum theory. And I was helping people understand that everything in life really is a projection of ourselves. And that's not just a metaphor, that this is actually, there's physical proof of this. And one of the biggest ways to prove this was the observer effect. I remember we had this conversation, and if anyone doesn't know what the observer effect, it's basically in this universe, everything is made up of particles when you go down to the smallest level.
That's just science.
Right. But everything. So you think if people are spiritual, religious, whatever it is, even when you go to all different religions, all religions really have the 5 same principles. And the way I describe religion is that I think that the human has a core intuition. We have we know somewhere deep down that we have a soul and that there's a God. Yeah. There's a creator, a source of all this, because how can everything come from nothing? But the thing is that what it is exactly is what everybody is trying to describe. So let's put it for this way. If you put an elephant in a room and you got 10 people blindfolded and they're all touching the elephant, you take the elephant out, you take the blindfolds off. When you ask everybody one by one what they felt, they're all going to describe it differently, but they were all touching the same source. So that is religion, in my perspective, that it's cultural differences that shift the perspective of what their intuition is telling them they're seeing. But the idea is all generally the same, is that there is a creator and that we all have souls. But the thing is that if source has created life, it also creates the laws of our universe. So if we have particles, when you look in quantum theory, they're in what they call a superposition, okay? And I'm just going to go over this really quickly to set a foundation. But when observed by a human or by a conscious observer, when consciousness comes and actually observes the particle being shot through the double split, it changes its state. Now, this is a phenomenon that still to this day we cannot explain, but we've tested it so many times we know that it's fact. So the problem is that it's not really a problem, but the fact of the matter is that when a human observer is conscious, the particle then collapses into one singularity, okay, one state. In layman's terms, that means that the observer is dictating its reality, is literally forming everything outside of the mind. So the observer effect really proves that nothing can exist without the observer, that this is actually a projection of us. And once you can understand these types of things, once you understand how you break down universal laws and how they're actually truly working at a core value, you can understand how to correct that in your own life and not really like manipulate it, but like kind of navigate it and learn different ways to achieve things. When a big thing on this channel is the power of positivity and the power of basically manifesting your destiny. And manifestation is a reality in everyone's life. It's not like a woo-woo thing. It's actually, everything is a manifestation. The difference is trying to control your manifestation. Now, for example, I don't know if they're aware or if anyone's aware, the day I met you and we started talking at work, I brought a very specific number to your attention. Yeah. And I'm wearing that number on my dog tag right now. Yeah. It's a very special number to me. It's in my Gmail. It's in everything. My Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube. It's on everything that is connected to me. Yeah. But it represents manifestation and opening up opportunity. But more than that, it has been a guide, a lighthouse that has led me in certain directions of my life. And I have physically been able to manifest that. Now, the craziest thing is when I introduce people to this, if I feel that we're resonating with one another, we're on the same frequency, I'm able to share that gift with that person. When I shared that with you, ever since that first day we stopped talking, we were literally talking about that number. You left to go do your cash out right after we got done with that conversation. In less than 5 minutes later, you're like waving the thing, coming like you're running towards me. You're like, dude, check this out. Yeah. And your cash out was exactly 111. Yeah. This is correct, right?
This happens all the time.
Ever since that day,
Yeah.
right? Okay. Ever since that day, this has been an ongoing thing. I call it quantum entanglement, okay?
Can I say something?
Go for it. Absolutely.
I was a full fucking skeptic.
Yes.
Like, I never believed in angel numbers. And I think to this day, like, angel numbers are a very loose term. But I just, like, I never had a pattern of numbers that would pop into my life. I never, like, I mean, my birthday's 10/12. So, like, obviously, if I've seen 10/12, I'll be like, oh, that's cute. Like, whatever, But I never had any meaning behind it. I never felt any type of pressure from behind seeing that number, right? And the craziest thing is that, like, that was the first conversation that we've ever had. And I know people are going to look at it and be like, oh, well, blah, 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 right?
Right.
But it's like, I don't really care for
They
your
won't
opinion.
understand because they haven't experienced it. It's something you have to experience, but you have documented it for a year now.
Yes, that's why, like, I don't have an explanation for it other than how I feel. And
you've literally, there's been days when I've walked in, there's words that I say that match up to the things that are happening. So you've been a witness to me literally speaking things into existence, correct?
Yeah.
So I know there's going to be a lot of doubt with this, but this is a practice that I've been doing now for a while, but it's not about magic. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm trying to teach people, that even the number itself has nothing to do with angels. Okay.
Yeah,
when it relates to me. Okay. The number itself is a tool because it's a projection. Okay. What it actually is it's a projection, and it is showing you that you can really project and create your reality. And let's put it this way. If you're teaching a Jedi or you're teaching someone young these new like skills that seem to come off like magic or something, it's not, because this is why I brought quantum mechanics into it. Quantum theory is starting to prove that these things are actually reality, and that actual consciousness is on something called the quantum field. It's on a higher dimensional plane. We know now through the particle collider that we live in a 12-dimensional reality. Humans are derivative of 3-dimensional atoms, and we live in the 3D. So we live in a 3-dimensional plane, but through experiments, we know, and we are seeing the resonating effects of things happening on higher dimensional levels. We just can't visually see it, but we can see the resonance of it. Now,
yeah, like if I told you to like picture a pickle in your head, like you can see it, but like where do you see it?
Right. Well, here's the thing. What is consciousness? You cannot still to this day define that. Okay. There is no true definity of the word consciousness. Is it in the brain? Is it in the soul? Is it in...
That's why they don't know how to explain dreams and nightmares.
Well, right. But consciousness, I truly believe through some of the things that I've experimented with. Let me ask something. Is there a theory that consciousness... Is there a theory that consciousness is in the quantum field?
If there's something specific you need or just a topic you want to dive into, let me know.
Is there a theory that consciousness is in the quantum field? This thing's like glitching out today.
She's on break.
That's weird. What is the theory that consciousness is in the quantum field?
Yeah. That's often tied to what's known as the OR theory, or orchestrated objective reduction, which was proposed by physicist Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff. Basically, it suggests that conscious experiences arise from quantum computations in brain microtubules.
Right.
It's still pretty speculative, but it's a fascinating blend of physics and neuroscience.
So here's the thing, and this is why they think that humanity as a whole actually creates and generates a lot of these things. I always tell people I say that if this life is your canvas, then you should paint your dreams, not your nightmares. The problem with society and most people, we're not taught this at a young age. And what we're doing is we're going through life fixating on the things we don't like. Right. All day long, I witness this at work. People are like, I want to go home. I hate this place. Screw this person. Fuck this shit. And what they're doing, and they don't understand, is they're creating a resonating frequency, which is a low frequency, and they're attracting more of this suffering into their life.
Yes.
And now let me prove this for my guests that are in this room, but I have to. Do humans have a resonating frequency?
That's a really interesting question. There's no single universal frequency for all humans, but some researchers talk about things like Schumann resonance, which is a set of electromagnetic frequencies in the
Hold on. That's not what I'm asking. It's actually touched on something different. I'm going to Google it. Do humans have a vibrating resonant frequency?
Yes, humans have resonant frequencies. The different body types vibrate to different rates. The whole body vibrates from 5 to 15 hertz.
Okay.
That's
So
who you are, who you're friends with.
I forgot I was connected to that speaker over there. So yes, humans have, everything does. Everything in the universe has a resonating vibrational frequency. That frequency is what basically attracts or pushes away other people's resonating frequencies. Okay. The heart also gives off like a magnetic field. Okay.
Yeah,
and
that's like backed by science.
And it's, and what do magnets do? They attract and they can push. Also, they can do the opposite. The problem is that when you are speaking things into existence, I've told people that always speak positively about yourself, because words hold energy and they cast spells. That's why they call it spelling. But
I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying that no, but it's true. It's like if we're going to go through, if we're going through life focusing on the negative things in our lives, we're really just going to attract more negative things. And it's unfortunate because as a collective, if consciousness is on the quantum field, as a collective, if most people are in a state of fear and anxiety, which is what we were talking about earlier, that if these overlords or whoever is controlling society is continuously keeping in that state of fear, anxiety, that state of lack.
That's why the news is the way it is.
Right. As a collective consciousness, we're shifting and we're empowering them continuously. And the problem is that I truly believe, and if you're religious, you can call it prayer. If you're spiritual, you can call it just a collective consciousness, whatever you want to call it. I try to incentivize people to change and shift the way they think about life, and just to stay on a positive frequency, a positive mindset, focus on the affirmative thoughts instead of the negative thoughts. And I guarantee you that you will attract more positivity into your life.
And I think it's crazy that America has set up a way of thinking that is so like negative. Like if you really look up at it, like
it's divisive.
It really is, but it's also like built in a way to make you think that you're not enough always. And it's like people, like I think as humans, we're always curious and always wanting to learn and, you know, challenge ourselves. But I feel like we've built a system where it's like being confident is borderline cocky. And it's like, I can be confident without being cocky.
Right.
And it's like, when I know who I am and I know my worth and I say that out loud, some people think that that's just a way of you being cocky and you being like selfish. And I feel like if being confident was taught as a young person in school, in the house, you know, a lot of people would grow up nicer. A lot of people will grow up more structured and solid and, you know, have each other's backs. But I feel like because people do walk around with a negative mindset because of, you know, the stress and the propaganda and all that and work and everything like that.
Right.
It obviously leaves a stain, and it's really noticeable when people are really miserable with it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, especially when opportunity arises to people, I think a lot of people struggle with climbing out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like let's say an opportunity comes out. They're like, hey, here's something really, you can do something that you enjoy doing. For instance, like getting into like live streaming or getting into, like you said, you had this weird belief that like art didn't equal money. And I think when those things are taught to you, that something interesting, something passionate isn't going to pay your bills, I think that's a bad perspective to look or to live your life, because here's the thing. When those opportunities arise and people are given an opportunity to do something they love to do, the problem is that they're in a state of suffering. Like for instance, all the people we were working with and people who work in these jobs, they're hard construction jobs or whatever it is. And their back hurts.
Feel the energy.
Yeah, it's very negative, but they feel like it's a solid job. It pays the bills.
Yeah, it's just enough.
Right, it's just enough, but it's not their passion.
Yeah.
And it still is creating a state of suffering. But the thing is that you give them this opportunity and this door is open for them. And the second this opportunity is given to them, they fall, a fight or flight mechanism in the brain clicks on, and then they fall back to the old job. And they're like, no, I'm too scared. If I take that leap of faith, what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
And then what? Now I'm screwed in my bills.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing for entrepreneurs, is that they have to take that leap of faith. They have to believe in themselves, believe in their companies, and have that vision. And that's what separates average people from successful people, is a successful mindset. I go through life and you'll never see me really talk crap on anyone. You'll never see me say negative things. I'm not sure if you've observed that.
No, definitely.
But one of the biggest things is if I have a vision, this podcast, the studio, everything was a part of my vision. When I posted my first podcast, I sat there and I podcasted myself. And I basically asked myself, why did I start this? But the main question was, what is the hardest thing about the podcast? And the first thing I said was getting people to come on the show. I put one podcast, and now I booked through November. I can't stop getting people DMing me and wanting to come on the show. I just booked 4 yesterday. And I have musicians coming on and artists coming on. I have a girl that dated Suge Knight that's coming on, and she's a neighbor of mine. And
that's going to be interesting.
It's going to be wild. She has a wild story. Stay tuned for that one. And the craziest thing is that it's something that I resonate with, something that I felt emotionally attached to my vision. And I feel like people don't understand that is the catalyst of this life. That is the magic in life.
It's taking that leap.
The power, not just the leap. Yes, the leap, but creating a vision, emotionally being attached and believing nothing but success. Because the second you tell yourself, I can't, you're right about that too.
Yeah.
So you're going to speak that into existence.
I can't is like 50% of the process.
Yeah. And mindset is
everything.
It's everything. So an affirmative thought is always going to be more powerful than a negative thought.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on how you said people stay in like a comfortable cycle.
Yeah, they do.
And personally speaking,
even when it creates suffering.
Well, I think especially if it creates suffering. I think suffering creates a platform for you to feel, consoled in a way, because there's no consoling if there's no suffering. Right. They work hand in hand. And I feel like growing up, it's crazy for me to think about now in my life, because growing up, like I spent majority of my childhood, if you looked at it, you wouldn't think that it was as bad as it was. And it wasn't that bad. Like there are way worse situations. But I think because of my mental, I was genuinely so depressed. But I would hide it very, very well.
I think I remember you telling me about this. Yeah.
And I spent like a lot of my life genuinely depressed as a child, but you would never really guess. And that's because I didn't really show. I mean, there were definitely times where it was a cry for attention.
Is your happiness an act sometimes?
No, not today. Today, I think happiness is an emotion that comes and goes just like the rest of them.
Yeah.
I would say that peace is like a state that I'm at right now. But, obviously I'm going to have sad moments. I watch a TikTok and I'm crying, I have sad moments. I have happy moments. Just like happiness is an emotion that comes and goes like the rest of them.
Right. I like that you use the word peace, because I actually tell people don't search for happiness, because happiness can be an illusion or a comparison. I always say search for peace, that whatever you do in life, that you have peace with that. So this stems from your childhood. Is this, did you observe like fighting through your parents, or like arguing, or
it was kind of interesting? So on my mother's side, it was kind of like heaven for me. It was a safe haven. I had an amazing support system. My parents were split. My biological parent, my biological father, I would go over his house every other weekend when I was since I was 6 to 17.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't really consistent until I was about 7 or 8.
Right.
But on my father's side, we would go out on family trips. We would see snow every year. I had a big family. I had a stepmom. I had a stepsister, But behind closed doors, I think that it was definitely somewhere where I dissociated. It was definitely somewhere where I couldn't feel like I could be myself. I put on a fake persona to be perfect. I didn't show much emotion. There was a lot of, I would say fighting between my biological father and my stepmother at the time. I was raised with my stepmother.
Gotcha.
They're still together to this day. They have 2 children on their own that are my half siblings. And it's like I've had to leave that whole life behind because I don't speak to my biological father anymore.
Right.
And it's because of, you know, the mental token that it's taken on me. And that's just like a decision that I had to make for myself. And it's a really hard and like heavy one that I make every day.
Right.
But growing up now, like I see myself now and I think in more of a mature mindset, and I would never treat a child the way that I was treated. And I feel like that I'm genuinely so grateful for my trauma because it really opened my perspective up into seeing other people's perspective.
Right.
And talking to my therapist, I used to have an amazing therapist. She really opened my eyes into seeing like the good that can come from trauma. I don't think people talk about that.
Right.
I don't think that I think people have made trauma like it definitely is horrific, right? But everything is perspective, everything is mentality. And like you have to live with yourself every day.
Yep.
So you might as well make it happy. Like you might as well make it good.
I think that's amazing that you've been able to put yourself on the positive end of the scale.
Yeah.
Because some people can either go south or they can take it in a different direction.
And I definitely have.
Yeah.
Like I think like it can happen at any moment. Like I'm so grateful that I have a support system. I think that's definitely guided me through my life is like having a solid support system. Like my mom, she's literally like as solid as a fucking tree. Like she's the support system that I feel like if everyone had, the world would be jolly.
Right.
And it's just like I've been at rock bottom as a child with her, and she has always kept it real and straight. Like even if at the time like I didn't agree with the way that she handled things, it's because she was looking at the overall picture, and she knew that once I grew up I would understand the decisions that she made and the things that she had said. And I'm just so grateful. Like your mother is essentially always right at the end of the day.
And I can relate with a lot of what you're saying. I mean, my dad was married 3 times. Me and my brother were from his second marriage. My sister was from his first. And yeah, I think my parents were individually great, but as together they fought and argued a lot of like verbal abuse and things like that. So it is traumatizing for the children to observe that. But in retrospect, like you were saying, it shaped me in a way. Now that I have a child, it kind of I could have went one way or the other, but the way I chose was to make sure that my son never observed those types of mental abuses and things like that.
Yeah. Like you can break the cycle. Like everyone's capable of breaking the cycle. Like from the bottom up, and I've seen it like with my own eyes with my mother and my stepfather.
Right.
My stepfather has been there since like I could remember. Like he helped my mom pick out what stroller to buy before I was born. So it's like he's always been there and he's always been supportive. But he's definitely broke generational cycles for himself too. And it's like I'm not going to sit here and say like my family's picture perfect, but at the base of everything, like we have each other.
Right. And that's why I brought you here today, because I think that you being able to tell your story, it really inspires others that might be going through the same problems.
Yeah, I hope so. Like
that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's literally the whole point. And I feel like when obviously I was a kid, but I feel like as a young jit from Florida, I definitely have made some mistakes and I definitely kept my mother up at night. But, you know, I feel like a lot of people have a really big pride and a really big ego.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of thought to, you know, alter your brain chemistry and become somebody better.
It does.
I think as a child, you want to think that adults are all perfect and adults all have it figured out. And then you grow up and you're like, wow, adults don't have shit figured out. They're just navigating through life every day.
Some people never change at all.
Yeah. And that's really, really embarrassing.
It is. And it's, I mean, I even personally took a shift about 2 years ago. I started getting back into my, I do a lot of meditating and stuff like that. And I really try to like focus, clear out all the static in my life. But I've become more open to a lot of things in the last couple of years and really just started to understand. I really try to get into people's heads and look at everyone's perspectives because I really just want to see what they see and understand why they are the way they are.
Which can be exhausting.
It is
if
sometimes.
you don't have any boundaries.
And you don't owe everybody your reaction. And that's why I tell people, sometimes when you're getting upset, it's like, you don't owe them that. Like sometimes just fuck it, because that does drain your energy and it does take away from your own essence. And the problem is that there's a lot of that today. A lot of people are just walking through life, like you were saying earlier, like NPCs, and they're just going through the motions, not really indulging on life itself and getting the full experience. But I've never seen you as that character. And that's why I brought you on here, because I believe that you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of people that you're connected with that you can bring to the show, but you can also open up yourself to them and they get to know you better as a person and understand how well-rounded you are. Because I think that your message is life-changing. And I think that it can really have a positive effect on our world.
That really makes me happy because I think a lot of I think a lot of Americans.
So who really are you?
I know, I'm an alien.
Are you from Zeta Reticula or what is it? No, but yeah.
I think a lot of us are genuinely thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to say it, or everyone's afraid to say it, or it's just like we know what's right and wrong.
Right.
And I'm tired of people forgetting that. I'm tired of people acting like you don't know what's right and what's wrong. I'm tired of people being okay under this like fake facade, and like we all know it's a facade, but it's just like we're collectively like looking behind this lens, and we all know it's a lens, and it's just like it's all fake.
Yep.
It's like the processed food that they feed us, and it's actually insane. Yeah. It's crazy to me.
And it wastes so much time.
That's all it's doing. It's wasting time. Yep. And I feel like there's power in numbers. And I think we consistently see power in destruction, and we think that that's the only way to go. And it's like, there's not. And protests don't have to be violent. We don't have to like celebrate in a violent way where we're destroying property and doing all this.
Well, they want you to think it doesn't have to be, but really, I don't know, because if you look at any shift in all of history to change and overthrow governments, it did take violence. When the Roman Empire fell, it was the invaders that came into Rome, basically.
The Trojan horse?
No. No. It was the barbarians. When the barbarians came into Rome, they overthrew Rome over 1,000 years, and all they had to do was come onto the beaches, just storm Rome, and they took it over in night. That's why that's where the saying comes from.
Yeah.
But it just was pure chaos. The Revolutionary War was the first time we practiced guerrilla warfare. Was hiding in the forest to shoot the redcoats when they were walking in ranks. The problem is that they would like to make you think that things can be done peacefully, but we live in this world of good against evil.
That's true.
And sometimes it does take fire, to fight fire.
I think there's power in numbers too.
There is.
And we are just
absolutely
robots.
Well, that's why they divide. That takes me back to the very beginning of our conversation where it was divide and conquer. I never really got to cap on that. The problem, you're exactly right. And my whole point is that together we stand, divided we fall. If you look through all of history, the only thing that ever overthrew governments was unity. Unity is the most powerful thing out of any other concept in this when it comes to what you're talking about, creating a shift in society, because unifying gives us ultimate power against a small government, a small people, because ultimately they're the minority.
Every great leader has said this.
Yeah, the billionaires are the minority to the rest of the world. They're less than 1% of the population.
A small minority.
There was a group called Rage Against the Machine. I love that group. And, they said the same thing, man. It's just like, we have the power in numbers. But it is unfortunate. That's why we're pacified daily with this thing. anyone want to, who is that from?
No, it's me.
Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I was just asking.
Yeah. Go for it.
No, I was just wondering because it might come up in my topic.
Yeah.
But I just
talk about it.
It's a sensitive subject.
No, it is sensitive, but that's why we're here. That's what people want to talk about.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I just don't know. I don't know how a country smaller than New Jersey can find power with the US. I don't understand it. I don't understand how we got to this point. And I think like us being like NPCs has gone to this point. Like people, we need to wake up. Like it's about time. Like it's about damn time. Like we should have woke up like 6 months ago.
Well, if you're talking about Israel, it's all about money.
Yes.
And influence. But
it's like, there's so much history that people don't talk about with Israel that goes so far back. And it's like, this is a pattern. Like it's so like play by play pattern. And it has nothing to do with religion to me, honestly. It really doesn't. Because I have Jewish friends. I have a Jewish best friend. She knows what's right and wrong.
Right.
And it's not like that, again, is something to divide.
Yeah.
Like you see the Orthodox Jews in New York protesting for Palestine. Like this, then just again, church versus state.
Right.
It's on our dollar bill.
Yeah.
Is God, in God we trust, but we have church versus state.
Yeah.
I never understood that as a child. I'm in civics class and they're teaching that. And my civics teacher literally stands up and goes, "Who has $1?" I give her $1. She goes, "So we're supposed to teach you about church versus state. But if you look today, what is this? It's money. This controls the world."
Yeah.
On the money, what does it say? In God we trust. So it's just like, everything is a lie.
Yeah. There's a lot of things on that bill, but yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, it's just, the frustration goes beyond me. And I think everything is positioned in a way to divide and divide and divide. And it's like, at the end of the day, we are all souls in a vessel.
Right. Well, it's funny because, like I was saying, collectively, consciously, I believe that most people are focusing on their fear, but what that's really doing is it's manifesting all of this. Because if we're creating our reality, it's that negative focus. And this is why I've tend to walk away from watching the news and political things, because I feel the more I'm paying attention to all this crap, it just manifests into more and more like snowballs. And it's kind of interesting because the problem is everything has always been in control from the beginning. And it goes back, tens of thousands of years. And nothing has really changed. All that has changed is the illusion. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so we're in a very diverse time. We're in a very complicated time with all this technology, and it's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse.
With AGI coming out, AI, and all the illusions of, being able, it's going to get so good, you're not going to be able to decipher what's real and what's not anymore.
And this time right now today is the curve.
Yeah.
Like we're witnessing the curve.
This is a very historical moment.
And I just don't think we're utilizing it the way that we should be.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me to say this is like, I know so many people that would agree with me, right? Yeah. But it's like, I leave here, I go to bed, I wake up to tomorrow and nothing's changed. There needs to be, and it's like, okay, guys, like let's set up a date where like we do this and da-da-da. No, like people need to start waking up.
And that's why social media, I experienced that on TikTok. I started talking about political stuff on my streams. It's kind of why I just fell off and stopped streaming, because whenever I got into a really touchy subject, they would just ban it or block it and block the traffic from it. The app. Right. And that's the problem though. In today's day and age, our town square is social media.
Freedom of speech.
But if I can't give freedom of speech because these platforms are privately owned and they can legally shut you down, then you can't get your word out.
Yeah.
So, and they're doing that on purpose. And that's another mechanism of control. Once you get big enough, and then there's people, and I hate to say, use Charlie Kirk as an example, but somebody wanted that guy shut up. And
100%.
And that's why he's not alive today.
And it's so stupid because they're so stupid. Like, it's so in your face. Like, at least try. Like, you're going to sit here and tell me that
right, but it's a fear tactic. They're saying, hey, if your word gets out of our control, and now you've blown up and now you have power in your
national
voice,
television,
then they'll just kill you
in front of your wife. It was a sign.
Yeah.
It was a full sign that we don't play around. We mean shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, Hello, like this is real. This is in front of us. This could be anybody. They did that to a politician of some sort, a public speaker.
They did it to Kennedy. They did it to Diana. Most of all,
allegedly Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stars, but Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
You know, he had a following, and all these people were exposing. So yeah, it's crazy, and and like you said, everybody knows this is going on, but yet we're just so pacified. You know what I mean? And
nobody cares until it's them.
Well, exactly. And even at that point, it's like
it's too late.
Our brain cells are so fried with
weed,
with 30-second like TikTok shorts and stuff that our attention span isn't even. Most people can't even watch long form content anymore.
Especially if you have ADHD. Yeah. Holy shit. I'm done.
I'm just saying there'll be a massacre on TV. Oh, high school shot up 14 kids. And then a week later, like, people don't even remember it.
Do you remember when the president used to address mass shootings? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, because
they actually support the guns being pushed into the schools. Like, I think everyone needs to say it out loud together. Like, there's AK in schools, in churches. Like, these are the only places that you're not supposed to have a damn AK, and you're gonna put an AK in there, and then put some kindergartners in there. Like, hello? Like, it's just like the exact thing that you're not supposed to be doing. Yeah. We're just watching it, and then we're just like, yeah, and that sucks. Hello?
It's everything.
Everything's
ass backwards.
Those goddamn Epstein files.
Dude, and when you showed me that movie,
yes, Blink Twice.
Yeah.
Blink Twice. Holy shit. If you've never watched Blink Twice, directed by Zoe Kravitz, I'm telling you, watch it today. Like, that is you have to watch it.
Have you guys seen it?
It's literally about Epstein Island.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's literally about Epstein Island. And it's fucking insane because after that movie came out and the Epstein files are actively going on, there are people that have dedicated time into making a documentary, putting them side by side.
Yep.
And it's like the movie barely got any publicity too.
Do you guys want to come on? Do you guys want to? You guys want to?
Anthony, get in here.
Come sit next to her. You guys come squeeze in.
Oh, I thought you were hungry.
I'm sorry, but it's okay.
You guys can get food if you want.
But yeah, have you seen the movie, Anthony?
I have. I love it. I think it was really good. Sorry, I'm having a Jolly Ranch right now.
So, I mean, if I remember correctly, it was about these millionaires, right? They were basically, it was child trafficking, correct?
Child trafficking.
And then they met up at this island and where they were bringing all the kids, and they ended up, the guy was an agent, right? But they didn't want to fund his thing. So he went rogue and basically started his own operation to save these kids.
Oh, you're not talking about Blink Twice.
Which one am I talking about?
You're talking about
Blink Twice is like when the girl goes onto the island and it's like
that one, I think.
Oh, maybe I didn't see that one.
The one that we're talking about is the one where it has like the little girl. It's about the little girl and the brother, and the guy like goes undercover to rescue the little brother. He rescues the little brother, and then he realizes that he has a sister that had been trafficked too. And then he goes and finds the sister, and it's like this whole thing. It's like based on a true story. I forgot what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
No, I was gonna ask.
That sounds.
Inception.
Oh yeah.
No,
wait,
the movie you're talking about, they were like giving out free tickets to watch.
Yes, because it wasn't getting any publicity.
Yeah, that's sad.
I'm gonna find it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and indulge me though. What is you were talking about Blink Twice?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the?
That's about Epstein.
So that one's about Epstein Island specifically.
It's about an island. It's like isn't it? I watched it like right when it came out. It's like the girl. She like goes on a trip with all of them, and then she starts uncovering that it's like an eyes wide shut thing.
It's essentially like billionaires. Like it's a waitress.
Right.
She's just a regular girl. She she works at like catering for a billionaire event, and she ends up like switching her outfit with her best friend really quick and pretends that she's actually a part of the event. And she accidentally falls into like the billionaire's arms. She like trips, the billionaire catches her, whatever. They have a conversation. He later then invites her on his island. He's like, fuck it, come on my island. I'm going on the island tomorrow.
Gotcha.
She's a regular girl. She's like, oh my God, of course. Can I bring my best friend?
Right.
He's like, yes, of course. So then they go on their island. They're going on his island, and it's fucking sunshine and rainbows for the first week. And then she starts to realize that there's like this like janitor lady who like just keeps saying like red rabbit, keeps, and there's like so many like little things in the movie that you
creepy.
watch. You have to watch it like yeah. And then eventually the girl starts waking up and she starts realizing, her best friend actually starts waking up and realizing that there's something going on. And then boom, her best friend disappears and she doesn't even realize until a few days later. And then she's like, wait, something's actually going on.
And they play it off too. They're like, oh, she just went away to like go do
What's
something.
the significance of Red Rabbit though?
Because later on, the girl realizes that she has actually been getting drugged. All the girls. So he invited like multiple girls on this trip. There was even like a model boy there. There was a man there too. And he's like Ditz, like from LA, whatever. And she ended up waking up from realizing that she's getting drugged.
Right.
And at night, the billionaire would invite other billionaires on the island and take advantage of these girls. And this is graphic scenes. Like they're fully seeing like everything going on, like unconsensual acts.
It's disturbing.
It's genuinely like disturbing.
I had to look away.
So how does that? What does it conclude to at the end?
So essentially, the janitor is telling her. So the girl, she is so creative. She's like a little painter. She does her own nails, and the billionaire takes pictures of all the girls that had been on his island. And the janitor went up to the girl when she first got on the island, said, red rabbit, right? So when the girl wakes up and she realizes that they're actually like raping them and doing all this stuff, right? She puts it together. She goes into the office and she like stumbles upon this box that has the photos, the Polaroids of all the girls that have been there.
Right.
And she realizes that she's in one of those photos. She's been on this island before.
Oh, shit.
The janitor saying red rabbit because her nails had a red rabbit on it from the first time she was on the island.
What?
So the janitor went up to her and was like, red rabbit, red rabbit, all creepily. And then she puts the pieces together and she realizes she's calling me red rabbit because she's seen me before on this island.
Yeah. That's scary.
Wild.
And then she's like putting it together and she's like, wow, I've been on this island before. And all the other girls are realizing this too. And now they're like they have to like pretend like they don't know while they're at dinner with this guy who they know had been inviting people to take advantage of them. And they were taking advantage of the boy too. There was another boy, he was like what? Like he was of age. He was like 21, whatever.
So did they ever get off the island or does that guy end up like?
So it's funny because at the end of the movie, they end up getting off the island, but she ends up working for the billionaire. She ends up using the billionaire against himself, and she ends up making like it. How does it end?
She like ends up working for him, and I didn't like the ending because it was kind of like
but I think it was what's that model?
I was like, okay.
What's that model that everyone hates and she's like tan and everyone thinks that she's weird? She's like a weird energy turn. She's super entitled. She used to be like, no.
Like what age group?
She's probably from like an older generation, and she's like a
Heidi Klum.
No, we love Heidi.
I know. I was like, wait,
no, she's like tan. She's like, and I forgot. And
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, and she's supposed to represent
Hilton.
No, it's supposed to from that America's Top Model. Like she's there.
Tyra Banks.
I don't think it's Tyra Banks. I don't think it's Tyra.
A lot of people don't like her.
It's somebody. She's entitled, and the movie ends that way because it shows that the victim, that women are in the trafficking ring too. That the trafficking ring wouldn't work without women.
I see the symbolism in
that. So the woman turns into like she's basically puppeting the billionaire now, and now she's working the billionaire, and it shows like the cycle will continue.
This is true.
And there was the billionaire's assistant in the movie, is a woman, and she knew about the whole thing, the whole time, and she didn't care. She was getting paid.
That's wild.
I feel like she was a representation of who was Epstein?
I'm gonna have to watch that.
That's what I'm saying.
Glass.
Oh yeah, Glenn. Yeah.
Glenn. I forgot her fucking name. The girl Epstein's like best friend.
Oh, no, that was his wife. That was his lover.
Maxwell.
Yeah,
Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Which her father, created the books that we use at school. What is it? McGraw Hill.
He's McGraw Hill.
He created McGraw Hill.
That's so.
I didn't know that.
And everything's connected too.
I need to know these things, or else I fucking flip my shit. Let me look it up.
I think another good movie. It's nothing about like trafficking or anything, but I was actually talking about this with my partner the other day. But it's called Triangle of Sadness. It's about like the different.
Sound of Freedom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, to go back to Sound of Freedom.
No, say your thing.
No. About Sound of Freedom, I don't like that guy who
it's about?
No, the guy who like did Sound of Freedom, isn't he like super controversial?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
I don't know. But back to what I was saying, there's this one movie called Triangle of Sadness, and it's about all the classes of society. And it's about this yacht, and you see all these disgusting rich people just like benefit off of the like working class, and they suddenly get into a boat crash. And then it's literally all the rich people who have been given everything. They're like, what do we do? What do we do? How do we survive? And it's like the working class people
that's
right. Yes. And so I think that's also another great movie, like about different social classes.
Naomi Campbell. That's who the model. That's who I think the model was supposed to like represent in Blink Twice.
Interesting.
Because I'm not gonna name any names, but I did go on a little day trip with a millionaire, with my friend, to learn about some things.
Wait, this is interesting.
Yeah, the teeing.
Yes. Please tell us.
I had a day endeavor with a millionaire, and she was really cool. She was really honest. She obviously walked and talked like a millionaire. Multi-millionaire. She would be upset if I just called her a millionaire. So
wait, this was a date?
No. I actually ran into her at Cars and Coffee.
Okay.
And I took a picture in her car, and she was like, send me that. So I sent it to her, and then we saw her driving down the street, like in the same, because we like left at the same time, and it was like down like.
And I feel like this should be personal too. And like,
yeah, and she was like, "Do you want to come tan at Pelican Hill with me?" Yeah.
Okay.
It was me and Ave and another friend, and we went to go tan with her. It was really cool. But anyways, I always get to the nitty gritty, so I wanted to ask her, like, who's some crazy people that you met that you don't like? Right. And she was just like, oh, well, I have a yacht, and on my yacht, like, I had a party. It was like kind of like a whiteout party. Like, it was really cool. It was like a bunch of millionaires, billionaires. Cool, right? You're gonna go get food?
Yeah.
Bye.
You guys outie?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to give a shout out?
Yeah,
I'll give a shout out too, because I'm gonna go too.
Give a shout out. I'm gonna put. I'll wait. Oh, I was gonna say here. Hold on.
You're all leaving?
I'm sorry, baby.
We're going out for the night.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to Scott for letting us on the podcast. It was an absolute pleasure.
Hey, my pleasure, bro. Let me hold on. Let me get a photo of you, bro. Live. Hold on.
All right,
I'll restart my
While I'm talking, or do you want me to pose?
Huh?
While I'm talking, or do you want me to pose?
Oh, just like I'm just gonna get a picture of you.
Okay.
We're gonna do this live, and then because I was gonna take.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've had so much fun on here, hearing everyone's stories. You know, I've learned a lot, especially from yourself and Jenika. You know, I'm probably the youngest here, so
I would love to actually have you come back and we can do one with you. I know that one of the cool things about Angel is that he actually works with children with autism. And
Absolutely.
Right. And that is one of my big things, obviously. And you guys know a lot about that. And I thought that was amazing. But one of the issues that I remember we were discussing is that the facility you work in, you feel like could do much better, and that a lot of these kids aren't really getting the degree of help that they should, and that your guys' wages are very low. Right. And I think that's really kind of like part of the reason that I got into all that. But obviously, you know, having my son and things like that, I just, you know, I think that's a great thing that you really took the light with that situation, that you actually went into that career a little bit. I know you've been having issues with it, and that it wasn't everything that you thought it was going to be. But I think that's kind of what I was telling you, is that I feel like we're spending so much money on war and all this other crap, but we can't even spend money on helping these kids out. And it's things like that actually absolutely just like break my heart, dude. It's little things like that in this world that tear me apart, is that there's so much suffering that doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? And that we could really be investing this money into helping people, where it's really just these facilities that really don't have all the funds and things like that to take it to the next level. It's sad, but I just wanted to thank you for, even if, I don't know if you're still doing it, but I know you took a part in it. I know you're a positive influence on those kids, man. So just know what you do really does help, because I've seen the help and I've seen the change in how it actually takes helps these children, and it does work. So know that it does work. I've seen the progress in a lot of people. So I just wanted to commend you for that and bring you on here. And I remember that was one of the things that touched my heart. So I just want to let that be known.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure.
Amen.
I learned a lot from all of you, and I hope to come back on, one day, have
Absolutely,
some fun.
man.
Mhm.
Hey, dude, when I first met you, you were barely 18 years old.
I just turned 18.
But I remember when I talked to you, I thought you were in your 20s. I was like, dude, because mentally you're already mature, like very matured, and you have a very like steady, positive energy. And I just got a good vibe from you, man. You just seem like a very just person. You're very, very educated, and you're really like not the average person that I come across every day. So I wanted you to know I really take a liking to people that I feel have something very special to offer to the world. And I think you're one of those people. So I just wanted to also let that be known. So
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, man, you're a hardworking person, dude. And I know you're doing your schooling and everything. And all I'm going to say is, dude, just keep doing what you're doing, dude. Just follow your heart, man. And I know the stars will eventually align for you.
Thank you, sir.
Period.
It was a pleasure, boss.
No, it's my pleasure, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Well, say my closing. I'm leaving too. Okay. I just wanted to say, even if it was for 5 minutes, thank you for having me on. I love Jenika so much.
No, thank you too, Anthony.
Yeah, no, it's when I first met you, you were just so kind, and I've loved getting to know you. Truly,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're just a great guy. So.
I remember you were having an issue with one of the people you were seeing at the time. And I remember trying to help you emotionally go through that. And I think you said I was almost made you cry.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's wild. I don't know. I just have this ability to like get into people's hearts and minds.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't remember what it was but I just remember like not because he worked with us and I was just like going through it. Like, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation just about like being emotionally manipulated and everything. But I remember you saying something like, love isn't hard. Like love shouldn't be like mathematical or something.
Right.
And that like just made me cry because I'm like, that's so true. And I think it's so true because I'm with somebody now who I love so much and it's not complicated. I love you, Oliver. And yeah, so yeah, you have great advice and definitely helped me. Scott has very wise words, so I'm not surprised that you have a podcast.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, no,
that
truly.
means the world to me, Anthony. Thank you for that.
Of course,
And
thank you.
You're also another person that I've taken a liking to, and that you have a very positive vibe too. You have a great heart, you have a great mind, and you're another one that is very intelligent. It's like I can talk to you for days, and I think that the world would enjoy your perspective. And I think that that's why I created this podcast, so that you guys could give that perspective. It doesn't always have to be just one time. Feel free to come on.
Yeah.
If you want to have your own specific podcast just for you, if you want to indulge on more.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be great. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I will definitely be back. So thank you, Scott, for having me. I'm going to give it back to Jenika, but thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I haven't eaten anything today.
No worries.
But I wanted to come, so I'm glad that I was able to.
I appreciate you coming.
Yes, thank you so much, Scott.
Bye, guys.
And for anyone, if you want them to watch this, it will be on my YouTube channel. It'll also be on Spotify, but really just the YouTube channel is the biggest one right now.
I'll say really quick what I was saying before. Should I just like start from where I finished, or should I?
We're live, so it's
I can like kind of cut it.
Yeah.
So basically, I was just saying that I took a day trip with a multimillionaire, and I asked her a few questions. And the things that she told me, honestly, did not shock me at all. I will say, these people live a complete different life, complete different mentality, complete different morality. It's actually insane.
Right.
And she told me that on her yacht party, that the only celebrity she doesn't like is Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell. That she like feels a like evil, dark energy from.
Right.
Mind you, I have no idea anything about Naomi personally, obviously. But I fact checked it because obviously people are going to talk about
Right.
celebrities.
So this is a thing.
Yeah, if you look at her history, many people of power, don't like her. And she's in the Epstein files.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can you fact check that?
Yeah. What do you want me to ask it?
If Naomi Campbell is in the Epstein files.
Okay.
Just because I don't know if that's true.
Is Naomi Campbell in the Epstein files?
Yes, Naomi Campbell does appear in the Jeffrey Epstein documents. Public records show her name in correspondence and event planning with Epstein, though there's no public evidence or legal charges tying her to any criminal activity. She's denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and says she had no contact with him after his arrest.
Interesting, considering
Wow.
she was actually coordinating
I did not know
a
that.
lot of her parties.
That's crazy.
Mind you, she's a model, right? She's a supermodel. So she's bringing in
Right.
all of these foreign models. So if you look at Epstein's
Wow.
victims,
Right.
they're women from Russia. There was a woman from Russia who jumped from his apartment building
Right.
window and died. They covered up immediately because she wasn't from the States. She came from Russia to work on a modeling internship or sponsorship, something like
Right.
that. She ended up cutting her hair, which was like what she was known for. She was known for like this beautiful long blonde hair. I forget her name, but it's like those cases like that like you can't forget. Like these are people.
Right.
Like there's a case that I constantly think about. Oh, basically she jumped from the allegedly she jumped from the apartment windows like a bunch of stories high. They
Yeah.
covered it up. She never got a proper burial, nothing. Her family was in
course
distress.
not.
It was horrible. She was actually reporting sexual assault before she had
Jeez.
died. And the thing is like I think we hear these stories and we lose humanity because of how much stories there are.
Right.
There was a man who lit himself on fire in protest of Palestine in the beginning around October when this genocide had started again. Mind you, Palestine has been terrorized
Yes.
for decades. And just now this genocide has lasted like what, 2-3 years?
And this one, I've seen pictures. It's bad.
It's absolutely
I've never
catastrophic.
seen anything this bad.
Catastrophic.
Yep.
And that's just the facts. Like there's no opinion in that. Like that's just the fact of it is. And the thing is what was I saying? I literally just lost my train of thought. What was I saying right before that? Oh yeah, there was a man who lit himself on fire in protest. And that was in the beginning when they first started the genocide. And it's crazy because he physically doused himself in gasoline, if I remember correctly, and then fully lit himself on fire while he was screaming "Free Palestine." I believe that's what he was screaming. He was screaming something in a protest of Palestine. And it's like, the second I saw that, I immediately cried. I cried to my mother. I was like, this is insane that people are pushed to the point of mentality that they feel like this is what needs to be done to be heard. And just like that, his story was wiped out. Nobody talks about that. And I purposefully think about it. It genuinely pops up in my head through my life so that he knows that he's not forgotten, that did make a difference. Like I think about that because I can't imagine the edge of extent that I would have to be pushed to think that is what I had to do with my life.
Set yourself on fire and kill yourself for a protest.
That is
wild.
insane. And it's just like, I can't fathom.
There was a monk who did that during the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Have you seen that famous photo too?
I haven't.
It's a extremely famous photo. I'll show you real quick.
You should put it on the screen.
I can edit it in and actually do it. The monk in Vietnam that set himself on fire. Yeah, there's an image of him. This is it right here. It's the same thing. He sat.
And you know how monks are. You know how they live their life.
Yeah, they put gas. Yeah, and
that's like an emotional thing for monks to have because they're not supposed to be attached to anything.
Exactly. And I think there's actually also on the cover of Rage Against the Machines. When you brought that up, that triggered that image in my head, and it's sad. It's absolutely insane. And it's horrifying. And like, we're comfortable over here. And even though there's a complete genocide going on the other side of the world, it's wild to me. If you went back to the 40s, we went to war with these countries to overthrow a genocide, but now we're literally incentivizing it
for no reason.
It's wild.
Nobody talks about Russia and Ukraine anymore, and that's still ongoing.
That's
still ongoing. Yep. Lebanon is getting Like,
well, Ukraine has actually had this wasn't even the first time. I think Russia has gone into conflicts with Ukraine all the way since the late 90s, early 2000s.
yeah.
So there's been many conflicts with that because Russia, Ukraine is the entrance into Europe, and for Russia, ever since the collapse of the Soviet Union, when they lost Ukraine, they've wanted to take it back because it's a very strategical spot for them militarily. So you can't infiltrate into Russia unless it's through Ukraine, and Ukraine is a very flat plain. So it's very. This is why Putin wants to take back Ukraine because it's strategic. I feel like the world is coming to a military head where by 2050 there will definitely, or sooner, will definitely be a World War III, a physical battle where we will all go to head. But China's trying to build their army. Russia's trying to get territory. Well, China wants Taiwan back because they make all this semiconductors.
That's the thing that's crazy to me. Is like we talk about a whole culture, a whole like families. Like these are people. These aren't countries that you can just take on a chessboard and just and pawn it. Like this is life that people are playing with just because they think that they deserve it. They think that they were promised it. And it's like, do you not understand that these are human beings? This could be you. But the matter of the fact is when you infiltrate the cultural stigma of these people are bad and we need to divide, and because of our history, we need to be at war forever. And I don't like this country because they bombed us, and we don't like this. And and it's like a cycle, and it's like
it is.
It's not.
We're not evolving spiritually.
We're not. It's just like it's just a constant, but it's meant to be there to do that exactly.
Right.
And I'm baffled at the fact that I can realize this at 21, which means everyone has realized this, and we do nothing. We do nothing, and it's because we don't think that we matter. And I think right now is the only time that we do matter, because everything that he has done, the whole administration has done in the past 6 months, it'll take decades to,
to repair. If it ever does even repair.
There was a college professor that he actually runs a live podcast, or not a podcast, sorry. It's like a stream of like his classes and stuff. And he like explains history and like economics and stuff like that. And I don't know too much about it, but I did see like a viral clip of his is going around saying that he was on the Diary of a CEO. Yeah.
That's a good show.
Yeah. That podcast, I watch it all the time, like in the background, like it's insane. Yeah. And so he was actually on there, and it was because a viral clip went around of him saying like, this is the most crucial time in US history where it's like we either make it or break it as a society.
Yes. And speaking of that podcast, I just saw an article saying that his podcast started in his kitchen and now is worth $450 million.
That's crazy.
Which is wild. And the crazy thing is he just had the other day, and this kind of ties into this in a sense, but did you see the one where he had the guy, he had the scientist from the CIA speak about the aliens, the extraterrestrials?
Yeah, and that guy had been on multiple podcasts before talking about the same exact thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I think he was on Joe Rogan's.
Okay, so and they said that there's 4 known species. That there's the Greys, there's the Nordics, the reptilians, and that there is the insectoids. And there are a lot of theories, and a lot of people. I follow a remote viewer. She's one of the most world-renowned remote viewing. She's worked for the FBI, and she's solved many cases almost instantaneously. And she has remote viewed on the reptilian race, and she states, I know most people are going to like hear these types of things and just like completely dismiss it.
They have a tinfoil hat on.
But she says they've been on this planet much longer than us. And I know there are stories from special operators that have claimed certain things, that we've actually gone into underground facilities where these things have existed. But claims that they're actually the ones running all this evil activity in the world, and that they're actually the ones at the top of the chain that are manipulating all of society and have been from the beginning.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely an interesting perspective to have, because if you really do think about it, it can tie into religion too.
Well, why are the reptilians in every book, and then they're on every wall in Egypt and Rome?
And you see that, and it's like hard as a person not to question that. Like,
even in the Bible, the serpent was or the reptile was.
It always ties into something.
Was the evil?
And you have to think about it too, like, whatever you think or believe in, whatever, like, put that aside and just think about the facts and just think about the information that is presented to you, and like, don't have your opinion in it. The fact is I looked it up to make sure. Yeah. But humans and stars are basically made of the same building blocks. We are essentially stars.
Our matter does come from them.
And when I found this out, I was like, there's no way I need to check this out, because, everyone goes around like, oh, I'm a shining star, da, 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 da. But like, essentially you are, like, you're essentially part of the universe.
This is
essentially.
True.
So, and just to like, let the people know, 97% of the atoms in our bodies are elements found in stars, which is carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. Yep. So all of those chemicals are not found on Earth. Like, those elements aren't made from Earth. They're made from stars.
Right.
So
that's why they call us star seeds.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, that's just like plain and simple in your face. That's science.
Yeah. There's much
just
more.
No way. There's just no way for you to think that. And then you look at your veins and you think of roots of a tree, and you think of like how our heart is based, and like all of this stuff that literally reflects nature and the universe. And it's just so hard to not connect those dots. But of course, the American propaganda has made you think that, oh, that means you're a hippie and you have a tinfoil hat and you're a conspiracy theorist. And it's like, okay, well then look at the media right now. Right. The president, Obama confirmed that there are aliens, and everyone's just like, oh, whoop-de-doo. And it's like, you don't even know how much of the footage that is out is real and what's not. You don't even know. That's the whole point. And then it can trickle down into AI. What is AI? What is not? And it's like, everything is positioned in a system to make you think that you're crazy when you're actually not. If this is what you feel inside internally, it's not like, I remember I saw a quote the other day, and it was like, you wouldn't think, oh no, it's like, you're not capable. No, you're capable if the thought came into your brain. Like, the thought wouldn't have happened.
Right.
If you weren't capable, or if like there wasn't some type of association. And it's just like, we all know, like, deep down, there's no way as a human being that you can sit here and say like, you don't believe in like a soul and like some type of universal element. And like, whether that be religion for some people, that's an interesting conversation, because I would really like to ask somebody who was raised in the church and somebody who wasn't raised in the church, but then later found God, because those are such different people.
Right.
And then I want to actually talk to somebody who doesn't believe in that, maybe who believes in something else, which I can be that factor.
Well, the thing about religion is that religion is taught to you from the earliest days of childhood. So it is a form, regardless if it's true or not, it's a form of molding or shaping someone's perspective. You can even call it brainwashing someone to some degree, because people are willing to go to war, die, and kill others over their God, that their God is the right God. Well, why have you ever looked? Why is every religion their God's the right God? Right. We ever think that it's all the same thing? We just have different cultural perspectives on what God is. That's kind of how I was talking about that earlier. But yes, it is. There are some people that are atheists, and there are people that don't believe because they're using the logic or whatever they might think, whatever. Some people don't want to think that God allows people to die, allows people to live in suffering and states of constant fear and things. How could a child how could any God allow, God's good, how could they allow a child to go through these types of experiences and things like that?
Or genocide, all that stuff.
Right. And when you even look in religion, the majority of people in the world are Christian, and that's a fact. The other half are Buddhist and Muslim. And the other thing, when it really comes down to it, to morality, unfortunately, the universe itself doesn't really reflect on morality, because morality is technically a perspective. What might be good for your culture might be bad for someone else's. Right. If I go back to, let's say, ancient times, and I go to the the Mayans, when they would rip people's hearts out of their chests and sacrifice them to the gods, that was good. But if I cut someone open today and publicly rip their heart out of their chest, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's bad. So you got to remember that's a perspective. So there are still people on this planet in South America and in the Amazon and certain remote islands that are still so remote that they're literally indigenous, and they don't even know this technological world is out there, and they're still like killing people with spears, and cannibalism is going on. It's wild. But
and when you like put that side by side with like the AI culture, it's like, how are we all existing on this earth and we still can't get it right?
Right. And I mean, I'll tell you right now, I know for a fact that extraterrestrials exist. Okay, I know this without a doubt in my mind. I believe that they've been a part of our society for a long time. And I think that it's we just found through these X-ray photographs that the Egyptian pyramids have pillars that go underneath them. They're coils. These coils go down further than a mile, and then they open up to more chambers. Nothing. We can't even really do that today.
Or the pyramids.
Or the pyramids themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, who helped them with this is, what these things actually really were and how they functioned. Now we're starting to realize these pyramids were like a power plant. They were sources of they're generating energy naturally.
That's crazy. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go for it.
But did you actually see about the 12 scientists who got killed?
Oh, all the scientists that are missing and dying.
Yeah.
Yes, there was dozens of them. Yes.
What was her name? Emily or something? The most recent one. And she made a video, went viral.
They were aerospace engineers.
Yes,
some of them.
And they discovered this energy that's basically invisible that can harm you. And she said that she got hurt by it, and she later died of suicide after she came out and said, I would never do that. And her friends and family said, I would never do that. I would never do that. And that was right after she had made a video out to the public saying that I worked on this case. I worked side by side with these scientists. It's in the government. They know.
Right. Oh, they do know.
They do know 100%. It's going to be a military weapon,
right?
For if you don't want to listen, boom, you're zapped. And it's like she was showing these burns on her arm that had happened from when they used the weapon on her.
Right.
And she's like, this happened to 11 other scientists, and that actually made the news, which genuinely shocked me.
Yeah,
but they're
like microwave weapons, and these weapons are real. There's actually many different types of. They call them energy weapons. Energy weapons have been going on much longer than you're aware of.
I'm sure.
Microwave weapons, I think, go back all the way to the 80s. But yes, they can literally give you brain damage. They can kill you. They can torture you.
Which is a frequency thing.
It is a frequency thing. And I remember there was a news report. Was there a report that energy weapons were being used on U.S. CIA operatives?
Yes. Reports indicate that CIA operatives and other U.S. diplomats may have been targeted by directed energy weapons. Several investigations, including one by CBS News and CNN.
The Havana syndrome.
Yep. So you're getting into a topic that's really dangerous, and not necessarily for me, but just in general, because we used when we went in to get Maduro. The witnesses of Maduro's men said that U.S. Special Forces were using energy weapons when they came in. They said there was a burst.
And when was this? Long ago.
No, Maduro, the one the guy we captured that Trump went in with the special operations.
Right. The president of
Venezuela.
Yeah.
So when we went in to get
Pray
Maduro,
for Venezuela right now too.
Yeah, I mean, they said that his guards, Maduro's guards, witnessed an energy weapon being used. They said there was a burst of energy, and all his men fell to the ground. They were all bleeding from the ears and from the nose. And then the unit came in, and then they just wiped them all out in a matter of minutes with only about 10 to 15 agents. But for a small amount of people, like 15 people, to go in and kill almost 200 people is insane to think about.
With nothing.
But they were nothing. Yeah. Well, that's because the energy weapon, basically, he said it made them inoperable. They were all suffering of vertigo and they were already,
which breaks my heart.
Yeah. It's just, it's crazy. And to think that they can utilize this on any of us is the scariest thing.
Which makes me think about what type of weapons they're experimenting on the Palestinians with.
Yeah. Or just all of us. Yeah. I feel that
If they can do that with a weapon through the window, what are they doing?
I don't think they have to even use it on things like Palestine. They are very expensive weapons, and I think when they use energy weapons, they usually go for like high profile targets.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like in general, like what other, like if that's the surface of like the iceberg, like what else?
It's horrifying. Some of these agendas are absolutely extremely horrifying.
Did you see the soccer ball that they dropped and it was a bomb and it was supposed to, it was a bomb shaped as a soccer ball. And they dropped it.
That's horrible. So the kids would be playing soccer and blow them
and they
up.
dropped it right in front of a school, a playing field.
That's horrible.
And this is the thing is that like, it's such a dystopian time for me to be in my silk sheets, in my $3 million house, in my bed that has a full pillows and I have a balcony and all this stuff that I live in, and I'm doom scrolling at 3 a.m. and I come upon my feed and I just see Palestinian families being ripped apart begging me for money, and now I feel the pressure on me, and then I'm here entitled as hell because I can scroll and those problems aren't my problems anymore. I can scroll and the whole sake of a human is not in my hands anymore, and it's genuinely it genuinely alters the brain chemistry, and it bothers me because I feel like right now is such a public time where maybe they could have said in World War II, well, we didn't know what was going on in Germany because of the lack of technology.
Right.
Okay, well, now we have the most technology we've ever had ever. And there's multiple genocides going on in all of the world, everywhere. And it's getting brought to the attention. And all I can do is scroll. I can donate money, but I'm already an American that's struggling. So why would I give you my money when I need money myself?
Right. And I think they show you these images on purpose too. It gives you a lower vibration, and they're creating a worldwide low density, because a lot of people, if you've never heard of it, it's called a loosh farm. The elitists keep the masses in constant low vibrations because they literally get high off of that.
Yeah.
That's why they're like part of satanic cult. These cults that they're in, they really are getting high off of observing this and watching people go through so much suffering. So it is really sad. I don't want you as a person though. I hate to say it this way, to focus on, I know, I know it sounds selfish. I wouldn't focus on the negative aspect, because regardless, as a specific individual, there's really in this moment not much you can do to help the suffering of the whole world. But as a unified collective, that is where we have to shift. As a planet, we need to shift and start, like you said, asking the questions, and also asking. And I think we're living in an age where there's so much information given to us that we're just so bombarded by so many different
desensitizes us
angles that it's just like we feel so helpless because like, how can I help all of this? It's really kind of impossible. And I think this is a strategy, and it is. And no matter what religion you are, or if you think the devil or whoever, but that's the greatest illusion. And that,
I mean, Bohemian Grove is literally in our face.
It's funny you bring that up, because what was his name? He's the guy who discovered it. He has that podcast too, but he's like everyone calls him,
I'm not sure,
like conservative nutbag. What's his name? The guy, I gotta Google it, because who discovered Bohemian Grove?
Bohemian Grove was first exposed by Rick Kroger in 1981.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones.
I haven't heard of him.
You know who Alex Jones is?
No.
Alex Jones. But yeah, he talks about a lot of what people think is crazy conspiracy. It's always crazy till you find out it's real.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, like we already know. Like everyone just needs to accept that people are genuinely this evil. People are genuinely like the most worst thing that you can think about. Yeah, like that exists.
Yeah, it does.
It's leading the country.
Right,
and it's in our face.
And believe it or not, that actually has to do with manifestation, because manifestation is frequency. Okay, and that's what I was trying to say. The universal law of frequency doesn't mirror good or bad; it just mirrors frequency, resonance. If you're evil, but in your soul being, you believe that what you're doing, it benefits you, that actually reflects, the universe will reflect that, and you can actually grow on negativity, believe it or not. It works just as it works as good, it works as bad. Because like I was trying to explain, the universe doesn't dictate what's good or bad. It only reflects frequency. It only can relate to that. So the thing is if a person who is doing what you think is bad, if their energy is, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of these billionaires live long lives. They're living well into their 90s, and they're continuing to do all these sick things. And that and to a lot of us, we feel like there's no justice for it. It's because they understand these universal laws and they are using them to their advantage. Yeah. So just like you can use it to create a positive thing, this is what I'm telling people, because collectively, if we can collectively focus on a higher vibrational frequency, we can shift that. We can change that parallel, that reality. And it's just, I don't think a lot of people know. That's why they don't teach this to you when you're young. They don't empower you when you're young. For a lot of Christians, I always refer back to one verse in the Bible. Most people that pray outwardly, they pray to God in the heavens, or God out here looking down on us. That's not true. Whether you believe Jesus was God or not, he was a very wise person. And there's one thing that he absolutely resonates with me when he said, the kingdom and the power of God is within you. When I hear that verse, I've meditated on that, and I know that's true. We are all the consciousness of source, of the creator. We are the universe aware of it. We are the consciousness of the universe aware of its own creation. Yeah. Experiencing itself through us, through its creation. The thing is that it's wild what reality really is, but there is, if you were going to say good would be a higher frequency and bad would be a lower vibration, it's the higher vibrations are the most powerful. It's called an affirmative thought. Regardless of how you want to put it, if society wants to create a positive shift, we have to unite, like you were saying in the beginning, to create that shift. Unfortunately, we're all pacified with these devices and TV and all these things that have taken us out of, they basically are just pacification. It's keeping us occupied. We do know it. And unfortunately, it's probably going to continue to do that until we all learn how to make that shift. Yeah. And it sucks.
Like the protests aren't going to cut it anymore.
They're not going to do it's really not going to do much.
Have you seen Delaney Hall and like everything that's going on over there? Mm-hmm. So Delaney Hall is a ICE detention center. And it's right out front is a constant barricade of protesters with ICE altercations.
Oh, yes. I know what you're talking about now.
They are fully dragging them, fully hitting them. Like there's no constitutional, right to any of this.
They're being protected.
Yeah. And it's genuinely insane how far we've gone from the plot. Yeah. It's really insane because people pay for the things that we were supposed to have as a human, as a right. Like you can't tell me that food should be, I mean, if it's like a top of like a rare fruit, sure, there could be some value in there. But
have you seen those videos where they say for thousands of years we had the rivers, but then they bottled the water and sold it back to you.
Yeah,
and they took the land, and then they took the trees that were free. They took the fruit and packaged it and sold it back to you.
Literally,
everything in this world is that we need to survive is free. It's naturally here in our environment, but society has we've enslaved ourselves to a way where we've literally said, I have to go to a slave job, make money, pay a tax, and then use that money to eat something that naturally grows for free.
And then I have to pay insurance to pay for medicine that's supposed to fix my anxiety that you're causing
in the first place. Yeah.
So it's a cycle.
Of course it is.
And that's why it makes a lot of money. Yes, that's why the medical field is a trillion, if not more than that, business. And it's crazy because when you realize that Pfizer is a hospital, they also make medicine.
Yeah.
So the problem and the solution is right next to each other. Also, the amount of money that insurance companies make off of nothing, off of doing nothing, that car insurance makes off of doing nothing, it genuinely makes no sense. And that's just something that I feel like as an American, you freshly get out of high school, because they don't teach you this in high school. They don't teach you that money is just a tool to get free. They don't teach you how to invest your money. They don't teach you any of that, right? You have to go out of your way and take a class. Like, you have to go out of your way and be interested. And it's like, you're not interested until you get fucked. And then you need to realize what's going on. So when you come out of high school and you are like, okay, so now I need to learn how America actually works. Now I need to get out of this facade of mommy and daddy are going to protect me. Now I need to actually like grow up in a sense. And it's like, growing up in America is just realizing that you're not free. You don't own anything, and you just have to survive. And you need to make money. And if you don't make money, you're a loser. You're a bum. But if you follow your passion, and majority of the time your passion is a creative outlet, you're not going to make any money. So good luck. So you might as well give it up. So you might as well just stick to the 9 to 5. Because you need to support your family. But now you're miserable. And it's just an endless cycle. And God forbid you come from a country that's getting bombed and famine and all that shit. Imagine all that shit. Like, you literally have nowhere else to go, to the point where you take a risk on taking your freshly born child under these razor wires of a border and do all that. And it's like,
why are you not a congressman? Or, I don't understand how you're not in the political arena.
No,
you're freaking. Like,
I was in debate. I was definitely.
Were you?
Yeah, but this is the thing is, like, I can speak for the people and I can speak like how I feel, but
you have like endless knowledge and observation of all of it.
I need to know how things work, or else I'm like, why is it even there then? Like, if the information is there, then it's my responsibility to learn. All this history, all of these people and all these stories, like, it doesn't have any value unless you make it value. And like, you understand the reason why they did the things that they did, and or things that have done to them, and the stain that it leaves. And it's like I would want to be remembered in a way, you know? And it's like, I just think about how I would feel if I was somebody else. And that's something that I realized is really tricky, and that my mom always tells me, like, you need to have boundaries with everything in life. And she's like the OG, like, she's where I get everything from. And it's like, my life wouldn't work if I didn't have boundaries. And that's because I have such a big heart, because I feel for so many people. And that's how I know that energy is real. Because I feel it. Like, there's no other explanation is other than I feel it. And I would hope that other people feel that too. And it's just, I'm really sensitive to energies, and I see all these people hurting, and it's like, it's such a publicized time when all of this hurt, all of this genocide, all this, everything, it's been going on. It's been for years.
And that's why I've wanted to get you on this show so bad. I think I've told you that when I first met you, is that I really kind of tried to meditate on who you were, and I really think that you're here to serve a bigger purpose than
I'd hope so,
to work one of these crappy jobs making
100%
basic funds to barely get by. There is definitely something here waiting for you. There is going to be a purpose, a big purpose in your life. And it's wild because you're so young. I think you're barely 21, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, you don't come across people your age that are so indulged in this. I mean, nothing against, everyone that was here earlier, but I think that even for some of our best friends, it's like, I feel like me and you could like go on and on about these subjects where other people are kind of just like,
pretty stagnant.
Oh, well, you know what I mean? And then just start doom scrolling again, even though we just said that that's your pacification for why you don't,
I refuse to be, I refuse to be the ultimate consumer. I think that's what it goes down to. Like, I remember waking up one morning and just being like, I think it was the Diary of the CEO I was watching. And he was just saying, he was interviewing somebody about being a consumer and being a producer. And it's like, are you going to produce or are you going to consume? There are two people in this world. And it's clear as day. Like when you, and I also took a marketing class too. They're free on Google if you want, or like,
Really?
yeah, Harvard. I think it's Harvard offers them. They're like free classes ever
I didn't
since
know that.
the Trump administration took a jab at the Harvard University. They made their studies public so that you can go on YouTube and, you know, there's a lot that you can do. So I took a class, I read a lot of, and like when you realize how much propaganda and advertisement is pushed in your face as an American,
Yeah.
you drive down the highway and all these billboards, they have nothing but money pull-ins.
Right.
Like everything is insurance or, you know, literally just money grabs
Yep.
at everything, or like food advertisements or these chain restaurants. And
Yeah.
it's just, everything is to spend money. And it's
Yep.
like, it's never advertising how to make money. It's never advertising how to keep your money and save it or reinvest it or anything positive. It's solely for consuming. And it's like when you change your mindset and you realize that you are a consumer and everything in your face is to consume, then there's no other choice but to learn more about what the fuck's actually going on.
Right. And that's true. And it's really a $1 billion, if not also a $1 trillion industry, is all, you know, basically all this marketing.
Oh yeah.
And it's just how companies survive in this world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are pushed with so many images, and what's happening is these corporations are bottlenecking us. They're really funneling us into their direction, and they want us to go where they are putting us, basically, in essence.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that we do consume, or you think you're not cool if you don't have this brand or that brand. You know what I mean?
It's all manipulation. It's all in your face, and it's the same reason why, like, if you took two watches together and you didn't know what the brand of the watches were,
yeah,
and you just pick which one is cute, whatever, you might just pick the left one. But then if I tell you, hey, the right one's actually a Rolex and the left one's actually from Target, you're going to be like, wow, I want the Rolex. And it's like, that's just because the company has built an idea of what it means for a person to have a Rolex. And now you think that you are that person. So it's like these companies sell you a dream and like an idea of like who you're going to be if you have this, like with the Lululemon. It's like I walk into Lululemon, sure, the material looks nice. Everyone has these jackets. They're super cute. It's $110 for this damn jacket.
That's
and it's
Prada's,
polyester.
That's Prada's sister company, right? Lulu?
I'm not sure.
I think it is, yeah.
It's polyester. You walk in and they're polyester, nylon. And it's like, you're paying this money for nothing, for an image, for an imaginary energy that you think that you are.
Right. I know that because there's a pair of sunglasses at my house in that brand, and they're like $580.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely ridiculous.
We're a victim of that too. Yes. And you're right, though, at the end of the day.
That's why the first thing people do is they spend money the second they have it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's a big thing with social media too. I have a friend that reached out to me the other day, and I was like, why are you not on social media anymore? And it's just like, apparently it's comparing, she felt that she was like going through depression because of it, because she's always comparing her life to other people's lives on social media. And that because it was like this person's life for the longest time, and they wanted to be a content creator, wanted to be they want to be on Twitch doing live streams, but all of a sudden they fell off, and it was just wild to me. So I just had to ask, like, what happened? Did something happen? And just like, no, I just feel healthier not being on these platforms anymore, because she was literally not getting the success she wanted, but seeing other people doing the exact things she was mimicking and creating success. And it just belittles you, and then it makes them feel that they're not valuable. And I think that's sad that people some people don't mind. They're just artistic in their creations. Yeah. That's how I feel about mine. Right. But I think some people really looking for that. Right. You
can't fake passion.
Right. But I think there's another percentage of people that really only utilize it for validation, because 100%. They have very insecure insecurities about themselves.
And that is like into like the OnlyFans and like the pornography side of it, that you can definitely see that we're being reflected.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
And I know that some people just don't care. They just go on, they express themselves. And for me, that's what it is. It really just a self-expression. I think it's an amazing thing. At the same time, it has its ups and downs. But I think a lot of these younger cultures, these younger youth, I didn't grow up in that world, but they did. They're growing up in a world where there was only social media.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they just use it to like attack each other. And I I didn't have YouTube as a kid. I would have loved to have been able to take a video of my adventure and then post it and let the whole world see it. No, but back then we took in the experience instead of held the camera every second. Every experience someone has today, they have to film the food, they have to film the concert. They're not actually like there.
And there's two sides of this too, because I think the basis of this thought is that the people yearn for community.
Yeah.
The people yearn for community, and you feel that at raves majority of the time.
Yeah.
Like that's where I really solidified my thought. Like raves genuinely altered my brain chemistry and made me not feel crazy. And I know from the outsider looking in, you might look at raves and you might think like, wow, I would never go there. It's insane. There's too much going on. I'm overstimulated. But like coming from like a severe ADHD, I don't take medicine. I just regulate my system.
Right.
Raves are where we thrive. And the whole like ADHD thing is like such a loose term that I use, because I think everybody, if you sat down with everybody and you're just like, there's no term to describe how we all feel.
Right.
Like everybody has their own thing about them.
Yep.
And like, it's just like the labels are straight for division, and it's so clear. And I feel like if everyone knows how it's supposed to be.
Right. You know Kiki, right? At work?
Yeah.
So she's going to come on, and she has ADHD apparently too. And she told me like she doesn't like taking the medication. She's like, no, it makes me different. And
no, I don't take it.
She's like, I don't like the way it makes me feel. So I'm like, I agree with that. I'm like, why? If that's who you are, I mean, why are you going to pop pills? Pills aren't going to make it a bit. I don't know. I don't want to say, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to sit here and make a statement like that. But if that's your personal choice and you feel more comfortable,
Yeah, there's definitely people that, are on a different spectrum where they may
that's
need
why I didn't want to
take,
complete that.
some type of stimulant for sure. But if you really look at the basis of things and people actually had time to sit down and talk about behavioral systems and regulating your nervous system, I think if we had more time to dedicate to that, I think people would definitely benefit from that. I think a lot of the mental disorders that we find today would decrease by literally just sitting down outside and like actually like studying this instead of coming it from like a scientist perspective, and you have to like pick and poke at someone and like they're a science experiment, like they're a label. Right.
There are people that definitely do have mental illness regardless, and that is definitely a fact. My mother was on Prozac and Xanax her whole life. She dealt with manic depression and bipolarism, but then there are some things where it's like simple sunlight and exercise could improve your life. There was a scene in The Simpsons where Bart went to the doctor and the doctor wanted to prescribe him like.
Did you see they were on the Epstein files?
Pills. Who?
The creators of Simpsons.
No way. Are you?
Yeah, fact check it.
Shut up. Was the creator of The Simpsons on the Epstein files?
I think there's two.
There's no confirmed evidence that Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons, is named in the Epstein files in a way that proves legal culpability. Some court filings have claimed he was on Epstein's plane and that an alleged incident occurred, but these are still unproven allegations and no charges have been filed against him.
Yeah,
well, of course they're unproven, and all this is unproven. And,
well, the whole I don't know if it's for sure, but there was a whole article that I saw that there's two creators, and I think one of them was on the island, and it's like he's like photographed or something. There's like a evidence of like him being associated with Epstein, and then everyone was saying like, oh, I guess all of his episodes were confessions, and that like he was like confessing through like everything that he's seen or done or heard through these Simpsons, because of all the similarities that you see in the Simpsons, and then you compare it to history, and it's just like whoa. So it got to a point where everyone, the audience, is like, what do you know that we don't?
Right. And that was the whole point of Epstein Island, was to get pictures of these people on there. Because if I remember correctly,
that's what they did with Michael Jackson.
There was a CIA report saying that that they believed Epstein was an Israeli operative, that he was an agent.
Yeah, did you see him with the IDF shirt?
Yeah, to get all this hold on these powerful people, so that Israel could control
And he did. He had.
Right.
He
No, this
had
is, yeah.
This is proof.
I think I saw this on the story of a CEO
The Diary of
podcast. The Diary of a
yeah,
CEO.
they have a whole thing.
Yeah, there's a podcast on that, and they were talking about how he is, or he was an agent for, and they have shown the documents proving this, and that, and that it was really to just gain control through espionage on all these people. Yeah.
And they did, and that's why Trump is his good old friend, and that's why Netanyahu is in the White House, and
that's why a lot of people feel that his second administration feels like a different vibe than the first one. Is that they feel like Trump is being controlled by Israel.
He is. So, he is, and the UFC fight kind of solidified it for me.
I didn't see that, but I heard about it.
I didn't watch it, but what I did hear from the aftermath was that he held a UFC fight at the White House.
Yeah.
Did this whole presidential walk out. He had these UFC fighters that, were undefeated. They actually ended up getting defeated by, I think, like, correct me if I'm wrong,
right?
But it was 2 undefeated weight champions, and they got defeated by 2 white UFC fighters.
Really?
And
were the champions of color? Or?
Yeah, the undefeated ones that lost were of color. 2 white
right, that's
fighters.
What I'm saying. Yeah.
What's his name? Something Strickland? Or the fighter?
Ooh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he actually got kicked off because he wore a shirt that said Trump is in the Epstein files or Trump is a pedophile.
Yeah, I heard he was like arrested for that, or someone. One of them was like, I know what you're talking about.
And he's like a low key like tough shit, like white piece of shit. Like he tries to like promote that.
Right.
Like he said that. Like he says that on like after he won that fight like the fight before, and he was like, I'm sorry for everything I said. I should be a better role model, but I try to sell out these fights for you. And he's saying this like word for word after the fight. And the whole thing that he was talking about was his racist Twitter comments towards the person that he was fighting prior to the fight. And so after the fight had ended, he was like, I know I'm supposed to be a better role model for you guys, but I'm just trying to sell the show.
Interesting.
And he's saying this on live TV. I saw this with my own eyes. And so then when the UFC fight was happening, he was initially invited. But because he understands that it doesn't matter about race, right is wrong. I mean, right is right and wrong is wrong.
Right.
And pedophilia is wrong. I'm so shocked that I have to say this, that like pedophilia is wrong.
Yes.
And he wore a shirt to, I think it was that event or like some type of event where it said like Donald Trump is in the Epstein files or something along those lines. And he got escorted out. He got escorted out very nicely, very just like this, very nicely out. And it's crazy because he's doing this and this is news. Like people have seen this and it's just like the way that they've treated other people when they've just protested, just sat and just protested, and people are getting jail terms for this. Like people are for freedom of speech, they're getting jail terms for freedom of speech and protesting, which is ridiculous. It's unconstitutional. But the fact that Strickland went and did that, and all he did was get escorted out, and he just wasn't allowed to fight in the ring anymore. And that was because Trump was like, "Oh, well, I thought you were a part of us because you're a white male, but I guess since you want to be anti-Trump or whatever, which is just like being anti-pedophile."
All right.
You're not allowed to come. And he's like open and honest about this.
It's funny that you bring that up because it's a lot of actual conservatives are regretting the decision of voting for Trump. I saw Tucker Carlson stated, and he did a public apology saying that he admits to voting for him, but completely
and that's what we need more of. We need more of these conservatives because, and that's the thing is like, I hate that it's like Republican versus Democrat because it's not about that. Like I can sit here today and be like, I can see some good in Republican and I can see some good in Democrat.
Right.
I don't split myself into belief of a party system because I know what I believe is right and what I believe is wrong. And you're not going to sit here and tell me that I need to pick one.
Exactly.
Like who are you to tell me I need to pick one?
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you are supposed to serve me as a person, as a community. Like you're supposed to serve us.
Even the most violent criminals in prison know that pedophiles are the worst. That's why they segregate pedophiles in prison because they know that these guys will fucking tear them up the second they get in jail. So even, so what does that tell you right there? That they're probably the worst criminal of all criminals.
Of course. It's just death penalty. And it's just like,
it should be,
or like rot or something, like rot in solitary confinement or something, or like have what you did to a child happen to you.
Yep. I was just going to say
Like
an eye for an eye.
Something, because it's getting to a point where I think people are just seeing pedophilia happen on a day-to-day basis, and they're just like, well, it's fine because, you know, they're just going to grow up and be strong and tell a nice story and start a nonprofit and like be whatever, right? And it's just like, it's crazy because it's getting, you see it in porn, you see it in Playboy, you see it in everything is, you know, the fetishized version of, you know, pigtails. Like, and that's the thing is like, it's become like a joke. Like when we serve at a restaurant, like you're a server, you're a girl, like it's become a joke when like girls will put their hair in pigtails and see if they make more tips on your shift. And it's like, that's funny. Sure, but it's like, can we talk about the root of the situation is that like, this is a known thing. And it's like, okay, at least I'm going to make money off of being fetishized. Like, and that's something I've dealt with my entire life. And it's like, the second I turned 18, I had family members that I had grown up with. They had seen me grown up. They had seen me grow up because my family adopts a lot of, you know, family, like friends and family, like we're a very big family, you know? And I've seen family friends, like distant family friends who have seen me grown up, try and flirt with me after I've turned 18. And that to me is weird.
That's wild.
That to me is weird. And it's like, for me to say that like out in the open, people don't understand that it's everywhere. It's this isn't, and mind you, they didn't do anything. They just flirted with me. But it's like the concept of it all is weird.
Yeah.
And that's something women go through every day. And it can go both ways too. And you have to sit there and think about it. And it's like, as a woman, like if anything, like I don't find men attractive under my age. I've dated a man under like 1 year. And even then, I wouldn't like, it's not my preference. I prefer obviously like maybe 2 years older at most, but it's just like, I could never look at a 16-year-old and be like, they're mature enough to be in a relationship with me. Like that makes no sense to me at all. And the fact that could somewhat make sense to some people, there's no rehabilitation for a pedophile.
Yeah. I don't have a daughter. My brother has 4, but I just like everything you're telling me right now, like I'm like, it's wild because I'm thinking, man, if I had a daughter, dude, I would be just so fucking scared for that. For that,
and that's why like
this is insane.
Northwest is a perfect example of this, and it's like she like people are making comments on a 12-year-old. Like she doesn't even know anything. She has no idea anything. And I feel like obviously knowing her parents are celebrities and they're controversial, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, she's a child. She's a child in the limelight. And she's a child that had developed in an era where we had already seen prior child stars get corrupt by the media. And you look at Britney Spears, you look at Lindsay Lohan, you look at all these women that are, and men too, like, what was the Home Alone kid?
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, he was in the Michael Jackson trial.
And
then he died of overdose.
They were good friends.
Yeah.
And no, he's still alive.
No, I thought he died.
What? Macaulay Culkin? No, he's still alive, right? Unless that was very recent.
I mean, you should look it up.
Is Macaulay Culkin still alive? Yeah.
Are you serious?
Macaulay Culkin is alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Dead this entire time.
No, I just saw him on like a podcast. Yeah, no, he's still alive. But yeah, he was a very close friend in the 90s with Michael Jackson and has always had Michael Jackson's back. There were the allegations. I remember coming home from school and Michael had gone on TV to apologize for the court hearings, but stated that none of it was true. And that they were trying to ruin his image for basically, and I think Michael was one of the people that was going to expose them too.
Yeah.
And
because he made that song.
He did. And he also, if you look, he explained that a lot of the choreographed moves in his music videos were actually telling a story about freeing himself from from basically their control. There was this one of the HBO specials that came out, or basically in the last month of his life, he wasn't even allowed to use his own home telephone. That they were really controlling every phone call that he made. That he wasn't able to have really any freedoms.
Yeah,
and it's scary because a lot of people are scared to come out. And there's a lot of movie stars. Dave Chappelle was one of them. Dave Chappelle didn't do the third season because he said that he was at a table of all these European white dudes, and that they wanted to completely rearrange his show and then make him do acts of being like dressing up like a female, which submits him to them, form of submitment. But he freaked out. He's like, no, fuck that. Even though it was $50 million for one season, he said, I'm not gonna take that money. And then he ran to Africa. Drug addict
too. He was like dealing with a lot of stuff, coping.
But he was so scared that he moved to Africa, lived there for 10 years before even coming back, because he thought they were going to kill him. He says he was starving himself for a long time. But
I will say, if you watch the documentary, the Michael Jackson documentary, it's supposed to be like a non-biased, just saying facts of like the trial that was going on. If you watch the documentary on Netflix, like being a Michael Jackson fan, that definitely did do a number on my belief for him, because regardless of what you think of Michael Jackson, at the end of the day, him saying that sleeping in a bed with a child is okay throws me off.
Yeah, so you've seen all of it.
Yeah, so him saying and actually like having that room in his house that like it's like a little hidden door and it goes up to like a bed.
I've seen all of it.
That is weird.
Yeah.
That and Never Everland. I do think, sure, he was curing some of his childhood trauma by, helping these children and having the children like comfortable around him. Sure, I think he definitely did. But to say that his acts against children weren't weird definitely do sound alarms. And then after the trial had happened, I know the kids that he used in his defense actually came out on a like MTV like interview or something. It was like HBO, some type of interview.
His defense or
children. So the
two kids that were alleged, they did an HBO special. I watched that.
Yeah.
And it's just, we live in such a how do I say, such a conflicting world of perspective. It's like, I don't know who to believe anymore. I don't know if people are paid off to say things. I just don't know. But
someone's definitely paid off.
But I know that there were two victims, and both separate, didn't know each other at the time. They have very consistent stories. They said that they were told to look at the Peter Pan statue when he was doing things to them. So they both knew about the statue. They both
about the pornography in the box.
Yes, the maid who brought a lot of it to their attention. And not only that, but the parents of one of the child said that Michael had tried to offer them a Europe trip to pay for the parents to go to Europe and fly, and he would pay for everything. But the son was to stay with him over the course of the summer.
And his wife would never sleep over.
Yeah. And the mom said that she's like, no, I can't leave my son. And then he's like, well, I guess it upsetted Michael. And he made a statement saying, well, I always get what I want, which is.
Yeah. And he was like, you don't trust me? I've done everything for you.
Right.
But he's seen in like this such soft like victim light that it's like, well, you're Michael Jackson, I'll give you whatever you want. And it's like, at the end of the day, this is a man. This is a man, and he's a human. Like regardless of all of the energy and the aura that he has, this is still a person.
It is. And my theory is on it, and I'm just going to state this. This is going on like 3 hours. We're probably going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, my theory is I think that they killed Michael for one reason. I think that all these allegations come against Michael, knowing that they're very strong, and that they probably were true to some degree. And the problem is that Michael was in debt $500 million at the time of his death. But they knew that his estate was worth billions if they could just get rid of Michael.
Right.
And because if he was to be an actual convicted pedophile, it would have ruined the estate, which means his music and everything would be unvaluable. Nobody wanted to listen to the music of a convicted pedophile.
The paycheck would stop.
So by killing him, they were able to monetize. And now if you look at Michael Jackson's estate, I'm pretty sure it's worth $2 billion.
Crazy.
How much is Michael Jackson's estate worth today? Or $5 billion?
Michael Jackson's estate is currently valued at an estimated $2 to $5 billion.
Yeah.
Insane.
Right.
Insane. And they make money off him to this day.
How much in debt was Michael Jackson when he was at his death? It's like 500 million. All right. How much was Michael Jackson in debt at the day of his death?
When Michael Jackson died in 2009,
500 million.
he owed over $500 million. Court documents show he had debts to over 65 creditors, with his largest debt being a $270 million loan.
Yeah. So he was losing all his money. And the problem was that if we can get rid of him, then the people who owned everything, I mean, they could basically create his, trade out his estate and basically turn it into a cash cow. So it's what they did. And it's sad. I know a lot of people are going to be on the fence about that one. It's a very
but it's just like the thing is like I feel like a lot of people think the way that we do.
Yeah.
But pride, ego.
Yeah, but you can't justify.
Trauma. Yeah, and it's like everyone's looking through things at a different lens, but it's like if you just state the facts out loud, you'll understand what's happening. You'll put the piece together.
If I brought a kid over to my house and was bringing him into my bedroom and in my bed and stuff, dude, everyone would say that's fucking weird.
It's weird.
There's no one that can say that's a normal activity. Yeah, of course.
Little boys, and it's like there's no reason for you to even be showing or illustrating or teaching a little boy about pornography at that age. It's not your role. It's not your right. And if you're trying to say it's about, oh, I'm teaching him about, sex and reproduction. Okay, he has a mother.
Yeah.
Like he can go to his mother about these questions. And it's like,
yeah, I can see that this is a subject that really,
yeah, I definitely feel really strongly. It's like, I can't not feel. It's like, I think a lot of people would either describe me as a super passionate person or someone who actually doesn't care at all. And it's because I've been able to differentiate if I think you're even worth me hearing or you're worth hearing my opinion, because there's some people that are genuinely so closed off that they can't even have the capability of putting their perspective in another.
Right.
And it's like, I've learned and I've come to a point in my life where it's like, I validate myself.
Right.
Like I don't need to benefit from anybody. So if you genuinely don't get it and you genuinely don't know what's right and what's wrong, or you're too ignorant, I'm not going to surround myself with you. And I feel like if a lot of people thought that way, it would wither out the weeds. Like it would wither out all the people that, need to realize that, hey, maybe I am a little fucked up. Maybe I am a little this, that, da, 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 da. There's always like recognition, self-awareness is always the first step. Like you can always change how you think. And I think that's something that I never thought about when I was younger.
Right.
And that was just like me being childish. I was like, people can't change. People are going to say the same way. But it's like, you can definitely, that's why, did you see those billboards saying, having second thoughts about Trump?
Oh, really? No, I haven't seen that.
There's billboards. I think it was in
Wow.
Texas. Yeah, it was a Texas billboard saying having second thoughts, and it's about the Trump administration.
Right.
And it's like, people need to understand it's not about Republican anymore.
Right.
Like I can be a Republican right now and tell you all the things that I agree about the Republican Party.
I think the Epstein files prove that to be true.
100%. And then him trying to sit here and claim that he's religious. Okay, what church does he go to?
Yeah.
What church does he like? What church does he attend? What religion?
Someone asked him what his favorite verse in the Bible was, and he couldn't answer that question. He froze up on it. Yeah.
It's like, what party is even defending you anymore?
Right. Yeah.
Racist people.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to sit here and say, oh, it's all the white people, because it is not.
Yeah.
It is people of color that are working for him, that are at his estate, that are on the panel. And it's like, do you even understand that your purpose here is to be true with yourself?
Right.
Like, be honest with yourself. There's no way, like, and that's what I'm saying, like, us as we need to unite as people. I'm actually specifically talking to the people of power.
Right.
And it doesn't even have to be a person of color. Because if you just realize that we all bleed red, there's no division.
That's
like
powerful.
You should just stand up for humanity. And
Absolutely.
I think that's what people are forgetting, is that if you are a person of power, if you're in the government, if you're, in some type of position where your position matters,
right.
like you have a very tedious job and this and that and da-da-da, and people are depending on you, like you're the change.
Yep.
And I think if everyone realizes that everyone has that position and everyone's powerful, everyone is the change.
I think you should go into government somehow, try to make a difference.
I don't know, because I feel like
anyone can open up a door for her.
Right, but it's like I don't know what the next step would be. It's like, do we revolt? Do we wake up with pitchforks and we go to the White House and we do what the January 6ers did, because they got a fucking pardon. There's pedophiles, and they're pedophiles that are getting pardoned for January 6th. Yep. There are people that are getting pardoned and they're domestically abusing people, and it's like that's a fact.
You are the absolute definition of a podcaster. And that is why I brought you on here.
Thank you.
Man, there is, wow.
Yeah, we could talk forever.
I'm not trying to like throw anyone else. My first two podcasters were absolutely amazing, but this one is like, I'm going to need you to come back.
No, of course. Like we need to do this again, because there's just so much and endless topics that like I feel like so many people would relate to, or just like even just like subconsciously think about, but they might not have the courage to think. I found a co-host. Yes,
it's here. I'm telling you,
and I can bring all my friends on, because it's like I'm the generation where like we're unapologetically ourselves, and I think your generation was too. But now my generation has learned to be unapologetically themselves on a camera. Yeah, and it kind of flows, and it's like even someone as me, like I don't consider myself to be an influencer or somebody famous or even really have a following, because you know I got those amount of followers just because of a viral video, right? And it's like I trickle in some, and I'm slowly building it, but it's like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a perfect human being and everyone should think the way that I do, because I'm not. I'm super flawed and I have so much to learn. We all make mistakes, yes. But it's like, I know people feel this way. I know people agree. And I know that like the people yearn for community. So it gets to a point where it's like, are we going to do anything about it? Right. Are we just going to sit here and mope and be miserable for generations? Or are we going to sit here and say like, hey, I actually deserve land. Like I deserve fruit. I deserve these bare minimum human like necessities. And that's what's so great about you, because you're opening up minds of other people to asking these questions. It's the questions we need to be asking, and then the solutions we should be finding. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's really what we need to do, is look for solutions and not procrastinate. And that's, if we can get a shift of people to start doing that, then we become empowered. And, you know, this is why I had you on. I'm glad you finally came down. You see how easy this is. You could just come here and spill your heart out. Yeah. And it's really therapeutic, I think. It is therapeutic. And it is definitely, I don't know, a passion of mine now, I guess I could say, is bringing people on here and really just giving their perspective. Yeah. I think people just want to feel related to. Yeah. I think people just want to know, like, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have these thoughts, and it's okay to like, understand that you deserve more. Right. I think this system has been built to think that we just deserve enough. Yep. And that's not the truth, because this is the only life that I have. Yeah. And the chances of me even being here and being born and like being in this position right now today, the chances were close to nothing. Like I'm just a girl from Florida. Like I'm literally a girl. Like when I think about it in my head, like, and all the opportunities that I live on a daily basis and all these side quests that I've been on and everything that I've been on, I just think like, I'm just a girl from Florida, right? And I'm just like everybody else. And if I can do it, anybody else can do it. Exactly. And that is true. I don't think you're just like anybody else though, Jenika, but I understand what you're saying. And I think you're inspiring other people to do the same. And honestly, that's why I brought you here. And I just wanted to say thank you for coming. No, thank you. And we're going to call this a session. Yeah. But I just want to say thank you for joining Scott Talks. Thank you, Jenika. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. There are so many people that are going to watch this. I appreciate you. It helps grow the channel. Yeah. And if you know, like what he says on the podcast that we're I watch it too, but he's always saying if you could do the one free thing, and that's subscribe to the channel and make sure you follow us, guys. You can see more of me talking about controversial things that we all agree about. Absolutely. Or disagree about, whatever your opinion is, honestly. Honestly, I can't wait. Thank you, Jenika. Thank you. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you guys next time on Scott Talks.